Waduh. Anjay. Bentar guys. Perhatian sang putri merak yang tertiup angin. Aku Pavolia Reine dari hololive ID. Attention please, I'm Reine from hololive ID Generation 2. Naik dulu bentar. Nah. Hey, let's go. We saw each other in the morning collab today. And now we're We're playing again. Kon anjir. Apaan? Lu greeting ngadi-ngadi anjir. Mana ada kon anjir. Jelek ah. The hell man. What's kon anjir? They should wake up super early for it. Oh god, yeah. Yeah, gitu guys. We saw you giving birth, now lawyering again. It's like, Rena udah tidur nggak belum? Yeah, so gimana ya? This morning was investigation and now it's trial time. Anyway, I woke up at 6:30. So I had no, okay, I don't know, I felt like it's always pretty awkward to be like, stay like when it's like a big collab, because I know like people want to stop streaming. So like, I didn't really want to do like an after talk or anything on VR, right? But, well, I can do it here a little bit. 6:30. No day out even after labor. Exactly! I'm so sad. Anyway, I woke up 6:30 because well, we were supposed to gather at 7 a.m. right? It's like 2 hours before. The thing is, and then it got delayed a bit, so that I woke up 6:30 because we were supposed to be together at 7, and then it turns out that, oh, okay, then it's 8 a.m. Okay, then 8 a.m. So I think by 8 a.m. everybody, most people, I think a lot of people were ready. Like, I think the IDs and ENs were like just gathering in one place, chilling. That's why I told you guys we were like chatting and stuff like that. We were just like goofing around, having fun, setting up and everything. I'm not sure what it is actually. I'm not really sure myself what it is. I'm not sure if the other people know it's like, but we were there. So I'm pretty sure it's like mostly on the technical side that we don't really know about either. Me at least, I don't really know about it. And I guess, you know, I'm really, really thankful that, you know, you guys were very patient and understanding about it. The whole time we were there, I was looking at chat. That's why, like, at sometimes I could just like reply to you. I was replying from you through VR. Yeah. Bibu already used what you teach her to Kayla. Not just me! It's me, Anya, and Zeta ya yang ajarin. Yes. So it's more on the technical side. It's not. I'm pretty sure it's because like most of us were just chill. We were already there from like the designated meeting time. We were chilling, and you know, we were becoming true VR chat player, being mirror dwellers, and just talking, you know. And we were, I don't know, just doing stuff. At some point we were doing a train cuddle, because it's so funny, right? Because like a lot of the ENs, they had like the chibi avatar too, and then the height and everything. Well, you can adjust it, but of course some are big, some are small, and I wanted to have my big avatar, so that's why. I mean, I just said so. I wanted it. Well, I did. And so because I was the tallest, sort of, I was the back most. I was the back, and in front of me was Liz. And then in front of Liz was both Zeta and Ollie, because they were both small. So it's just like a head pat / cuddle train. It's like a train, you know, like. Yeah. And then I forgot what else. We did a lot of stuff. We were waiting for quite a while. Just chatting, talking about stuff, talking to a lot of people. You guys probably like, because we were separated into different teams. You guys really didn't see me interact with like everyone, but trust me, we did a whole lot of interaction while we were preparing for the thing, while we were waiting, yeah. And during that process, I gave birth to Narissa, gave birth to Ollie, Zeta. Some people also gave birth. No, I gave birth to people multiple times. The same person multiple times. And then we were like, oh no. Well, you know, the thing. And that's why the on-stream giving birth thing wasn't out of the blue, because I was doing it. I was doing it multiple times off-stream. Yes. I was already practiced at giving birth. Sherry being like, what? No! You guys heard her though. She was onto something. The one where she says something like beer pong, like when you like phew, give birth and then like you like the person catches it. The birth pong. She was on to something. Beautiful. It's like giving birth, gaming. But yeah, for those of you who haven't watched it, the VOD's not going anywhere. Again, there was unforeseen circumstances. Well, I'm just a guest, guys. I don't know anything, but well, there were, I guess, unforeseen technical circumstances, and for, you know, thank you so much for your patience, for willing to wait. Anyways, yeah, and I actually missed my Pilates because of the delay. Don't tell anyone though. I kind of feel bad. I don't want to really say that much. I did tell, like, I did just say, like, in passing, like, oh my gosh, my Pilates. I'm gonna talk to my personal trainer now. Is there any difference between guests and any other participants? Oh, it's kind of more like this event is like Justice is the organizer, right? So they know the ins and outs and everything, and then the staff also takes care of the in and out, and then the rest, that's not Justice. Basically, we're like invited guests, right? So we're here to play, but we don't know what's happening behind the scenes and stuff like that. Pretty much, that's what I meant. Sorry, Pilates teacher. Sorry, I'm too busy giving birth right now. Jarang-jarang 3D. Iya, gatelan benernya aku tuh pengen main VR chat. Cuma tuh masalahnya kalau VR chat tuh nggak tahu mau ngapain gitu loh. Terus kalau mau bikin konsep tuh kayak mahal gitu kan, nggak bikin worldnya mahal lagi. Ya. Jadi kayak kenapa ya kalau main VR chat tuh di stream bingung mau ngapain. Giving birth seems like good exercise on its own. Yeah. Kok Ame akuarium gak sih Tan pakai VR? Yeah, possible actually. Yes. Ya gitu lah. So guys, pokoknya ada kentang goreng. I'm eating French fries. I'm almost done though. Karena semua loro kalau VR gaji. Iyalah. Kentang doang, iya. How many times did you give birth? Yeah, I think 6. 6 was it. My favorite room/minigame was the one with the mannequin. The mannequin room was the best because everybody, me and my teammates, Gigi, Fubuki Senpai, Kana, Bibu, and me, we sang happy birthday. Cutting that cake. Is it cake? Yeah, the one with the feet, the cake, and the what was it? The first person caressing the cheek, and There's just so much going on in the mannequin room. Is it cake? The gyat slicing? Your fave wasn't the pies with 901 duo. That freaked me out so much. I was I was like, oh no, what did I get myself into? And then I think like as I got out, they were actually looking for me. I was like, oh no, am I being punished? Are we getting separated? But I guess like they wouldn't be that mean, huh? But like you never know, right? Yes, yes. Crane game was so tense. Oh, I love it. Yes, yes, yes. The coinciding of the game from yesterday. That's what I was thinking. I was like, huh? Didn't I just go through this? Beautiful. Anyways, it was fun. I got to interact with a lot of members. The thing is, usually when we're like collabing, of course, we're just like, hey, what's up, and it'd be like for 15 minutes or whatever. But then, well, I guess the positive thing from the delay is we actually got to like talk for like 2 hours, was it? Yeah, pretty much. So it was fun. Anyway, just look at the positives, right? Did you only have one hand? Yeah, because my other hand is basically holding the camera. There's a floaty camera, but there's also one camera. Like whenever I'm facing to, whenever I'm shooting with the back camera, I'm holding the camera. So that's why my left hand always looks like I'm holding something. And I usually, and then I see chat, and then I see chat on the left, on my left hand too, around there. That's why I keep looking like, looking like I'm looking at a watch or something, or my left hand is basically always out. Yes. That's what it looks like behind. Anyways, yeah, awesome. Yes. From third-person perspective, I actually did that on purpose because I guess it would make the most sense because everybody has different heights. So I wanted to do a little bit more of like a slight view from above, but still not too, you know. I think I don't know. It ended up being pretty good. Camera work was surprisingly good for VR chat event. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I cried. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't cry. I tried my best. Let's load game. You wanted to live out a giantess fantasy. Just a giant Rainy stomping around. But anyways, yeah, last time we did all of the investigation, I actually checked because it's been a while, and then now we're starting the trial, and the trial's gonna be in the courtroom that's not used. So last time, I think Aura Blackwell was keeping people hostages, and then she was like, well, you know, we're gonna do a trial of that incident back then, but then she's gonna be like, well, you're gonna be defending Athena instead of Blackwell. Like, because we all thought he was, you know, like, we all thought we were gonna be defending Blackwell, but no, actually, I point at Athena as the killer. And then, oh, okay, cool. And then, yeah, Edgeworth was there. And we're gonna have some fun, I guess. We don't do drinking game tonight. I don't know, guys. But anyways, VR chat was fun. If only, I don't know. If only we could do more events like that. But I'm like, who's gonna pay for the world? I'm gonna be real, yo. Okay. December 20, District Court. But if it was possible, maybe we can also do, you know, just, I don't know. what I want to do is I want to go to the Ame Aquarium, probably with somebody though. Somebody who? Not sure. It wasn't. Of course not. Every world that we built and everything in VR chat, like of course it costs money. There's no such thing as free labor. You know, the thing is with VR chat is that there's a lot of everything is user generated content, so you can't just, you know, oh, you get perms for VR chat, you can play in any world, blah blah blah. And of course there's, you don't know the rights or everything. It's so complicated legal wise, I think, but that's why the safest bet is to just like make our own space. That's basically it, you know. Yes. The free labor is Rainy giving birth. Yeah, so just like that, you know, it's kind of like Roblox. It's kind of like Roblox, right? Well, I don't think we can play Roblox, but then when you play Roblox, it's just a bunch of games made by different creators. It's not Roblox making everything, right? It's just different creators making everything. So that's why it becomes complicated. Yes. Basically, yeah. That's why there's a lot of things to do in VR chat when we're like playing offline if we don't need to care about that kind of thing. But when it comes to like streaming in here, it's like it becomes like tons more complicated. Oh, Pearly, I forgot about this. hololive dressed to impress, let's go. It's more of like a bunch of separate games. Yeah, that's exactly what VR chat is pretty much too. Yeah, so what I say about Roblox and VR chat is like, Roblox is like VR chat but not in VR. That's what I keep saying to people. I did a little research. I looked into those special psycholocks you mentioned, Mr. Nick. Ngomong apa sih? Membandingkan VR chat dengan Roblox. You did? That's great. I really appreciate it. The top minigame was tough. Yeah, I was kind of like disoriented and like low-key scared that I kind of forgot to align the camera. My bad. But yeah, it'll end up well. A red psycholock protects a secret a person is consciously trying to hide. If the person folds under questioning, the lock breaks and the truth comes out. Yup, that's exactly how I got the truth out of Detective Fulbright and Director Cosmos. But a black psycholock protects a secret from the deepest place in a person's heart. A secret that the person isn't even consciously aware of. Game hubs. Yeah. So even though you don't know it's there. Athena isn't trying to keep anything from you on purpose. For some reason, part of her heart and her memories are sealed off, even from herself. Oh, so it's kind of like a PTSD self-defense mechanism kind of thing, right? Okay, so all I have to do is break the psycholocks. According to my research, a black psycholock is like a heavy chain wrapped directly around one's heart. If they are ripped off by force, it could cause permanent damage to a person's soul. Ah, yes, so it's kind of like if that someone's like super shaken up and you like shake them the wrong way, they would just like shut down. In other words, if I'm not careful, it could traumatize Athena for good. Pearls, could you stay by Athena's side? She must be suffering under the weight of such a heavy burden. Alright, but will you be alright all by yourself, Mr. Nick? I'm up against Edgeworth. I have to be able to give this trial all of my focus and strength. Minum tan. Enggak, tapi suaranya tuh lagi kayak serak-serak gitu, jadi kayak spicy gitu. And you can't do that if I'm there. I'll just hold you back. No, that's not it. I just meant I can relax and concentrate if I knew you were with Athena. You're the only one who can do it, Pearls. Alright. I'll do it then. Good luck, Mr. Nick. Good. Now that my mind is at ease, I'd better get ready. I'll just tidy up the evidence and take out what I don't need. Gade minum. It's time to end this nightmare that started 7 years ago. minum guys. Defense, prosecution, and judge. There are even people in the gallery. The roof has been completely blown off and the walls have collapsed. But today, this ruin is my battleground. Well, who's gonna be our assistant though for today? Oh my god, the robot is in here! Freaking Klonko, dude. Okay. Court, or some facsimile thereof, is now in session for the trial of Athena Sykes. Not a facsimile! Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, let me try this then.
Not a facsimile, old man. This is a proper, official trial. Take this more seriously, or you'll start hearing the bones of your hostages snap. Facsimile.
Please try not to upset Miss Blackquill. I'm begging you. Court is now in session for the very serious and very proper trial of Athena Sykes. Oh, he says, this is no trial. It's nothing more than a ridiculous farce.
What did you say?
Edgeworth, did you not hear what I just said to His Honor? However, this ridiculous farce has a very important meaning for our legal system. Recall the case of the Yuri incident, in which a prosecutor was found guilty of murder. That case ushered in the odious, dark age of the law.
I see what you're after. If we can find the real truth behind that case today.
Precisely. The darkness will be dispelled and glory shall be restored to the court system. Prosecutor Edgeworth, you sound as if you know something of this truth. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna get warm, so I don't get sick. Wait. You sound as if you know something of this truth. I do indeed. A new suspect has emerged in the Yuri case. Doomed Yuri? Excuse me? Okay. For 7 years, Simon Blackwell has refused to speak in order to cover for someone else. Brace yourself, Phoenix. Here it comes. Anjir, ada nyamuk terus. Tunggu, ada nyamuk. Mati. Enggak. Dia nggak kena. I'm sorry, Wright, but the situation is what it is, and I must do what I must. The prosecution moves to indict Athena Sykes on the count of murder in the first degree. I'm so proud. That's like the most important word I learned to pronounce.
Regardless the circumstance, I intend to question the defendant with all I have. For that is a part of my creed.
Damn, his accent.
Then you'd better bring it.
If the two of you are ready. Court is now in session for the trial of Athena Sykes.
Judge sounds younger than I thought he would
Honor,
be.
the defense was born ready.
The prosecution is also ready.
Why Edgeworth sounds deeper than Judge? Well, I guess you can't really judge someone's voice. There's immense tension between us. It's like we're picking up right where we're left off. It's my duty to clear Prosecutor Blackwell of false accusations and end this insanity. But I have no intention of losing Miss Sykes either. She's a very promising young lawyer. I know without a doubt that Athena is innocent. Oh, really? But I don't think Prosecutor Blackwell did it either. So, do you have any clue who was responsible for the sabotage? At the very least, I know it wasn't Simon Blackwell. I don't know enough to identify the true culprit, but it's clear what the person is. To put it simply, a spy. spy. I'm your little... The true culprit is a spy. It's going to be hard to convince anyone of that when I barely believe it myself. But I don't have a choice if I want to save Athena and Blackwell and expose the spy. Now then, Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth. No need for the Chief Prosecutor bit, Your Honor. I am here as a simple prosecutor. Very well, your opening statement, please, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Although I've been known of late to give an impressive opening statement myself. In all the trials I have ever seen, only the prosecution gives an opening statement. Oh, of course, you're right. I was just joking. Was having a little fun. So he wasn't doing them just out of fear. Interesting. Let's start with a brief overview of the Yuri incident. Yaksa! The incident occurred at the Cosmos Space Center 7 years ago on October 7th. The victim, psychologist Metis Sykes, was killed in the robotics lab on the 4th floor. Athena's mother. Simon Blackwell, a young prosecutor at the time, was found guilty of the crime. We sent yachts into space. There were two deciding factors that led to his guilty verdict. One, Blackwell was the only person in the corridor to the lab at the time of the murder. And two, this photo, which captured the moment of the crime. Very incriminating evidence indeed. Of course. It would appear that the only conclusion is that Prosecutor Blackwell did indeed hold it.
Are you kidding me? I'm not accepting any conclusion of the kind. This opening statement is over. Now, hurry up and call the witness.
Excuse me, Miss Blackwell, but we must follow proper procedure for these things, you know. Or perhaps we should heed her wishes, Your Honor. She is the trial's sponsor, after all. Besides, the courtroom is chilly, and sitting for too long can't be good for your back. Oh, you are very kind to show such concern for the welfare of the elderly. As skilled as ever at playing the court puppeteer, I see. The prosecution calls its first witness. A witness who decided to bring forth new testimony after 7 long years. New testimony? And who is this witness anyway? Bobby Fulbright's the name. In justice we trust. What are you doing here? I'm just here to speak for the hostage taker, Miss Aura Blackwell. She says she's too busy, what with confining and threatening the hostages and all. That doesn't seem to stop her from constantly chiming in through Clonco.
I'm nothing more than an observer in this. Do your best. I'm watching you.
Believing her brother innocent, Miss Blackwell has been conducting her own investigation. And though her current actions are hardly lawful, I think we can at least hear her theory. I have here Miss Blackwell's notes on the investigations she conducted. And I'll be giving testimony based on these notes. Here I go. Okay. Aura Blackwell theory. Simon isn't the murderer. He was trying to cover for someone. Someone else was at the scene at the time they say Simon committed the murder. I mean, if he really was out to steal that moon rock, then why the rolling case? Because he was using it to hide someone inside. That's why. The only person small enough to fit inside that case was Athena Sykes. And that's Miss Blackwell's theory. It totally goes in the face of the official ruling, huh? About the case she mentions, there were other rolling cases like that one in the lab. But they're not for traveling. They're apparently for moving parts and equipment. I vaguely remember seeing 3 cases. All different sizes. At the last trial, they thought that Prosecutor Blackwell used the case to steal the rock. And they had a perfectly good reason to think that too. You see, there's a security camera in the corridor that leads to the robotics lab. And that camera captured footage of Blackwell leaving the scene with the case. You can see why that footage helped to bring his trial to a quick end. It's very convincing, that's for sure. Oh, okay. That case, by the way, was later discovered outside on the Space Center grounds. Speaking of after the incident, where was the defendant Athena Sykes found? She was found on the 5th floor of the Space Center in the Sykes family residence. Di rumah. Prosecutor Blackwell most likely brought her there after the incident. In addition, it's unknown where Miss Sykes was at the estimated time of death. Miss Sykes was too confused by the shock of her mother's death to give proper testimony, and there was no witness or evidence to tell us where she might have been. So what you're saying is, Miss Sykes didn't have an alibi? That is what the evidence is saying, yes. I understand the reasoning behind the theory, but I'm far from convinced. The victim is the accused's mother. Are you actually claiming an 11-year-old girl? Well, maybe if she's strong enough. Of course, the girl had a very strong motive. Dr. Sykes was a psychologist who wrote many papers about speech and emotions. You're aware of Athena Sykes' special ability, aren't you, Your Honor? Are you referring to that therapy thing? Yes, she's done it quite a few times in court. The ability to read emotions from speech, and the subjects of her mother's research. Well, as long as it benefits society, I don't see any particular problem researching it. I don't like where this is heading. Not one bit. Dr. Sykes was so intent on her research, she forced her daughter to undergo experiments. Prosecutor Edgeworth, are you seriously suggesting maybe she's had enough? I've done my best to be delicate, but even you can't deny it to be true, Mr. Wright. No longer able to withstand the anguish of the experiments, Miss Sykes felt her only choice was to kill her own mother. Ah! Really? Order in the court! What a tragic story. I hardly want to believe it myself. It's kind of like that gallows puzzle of that other game. But we must proceed, Mr. Wright, if you could. Detective Fulbright, please refer to the notes. Let's press. Let's keep pressing.
Hold it!
So Prosecutor Blackwell willingly accepted a death sentence to protect someone else. Yes, that is precisely what Miss Blackwell appears to believe. Press to impress. That is what I believe as well. Prosecutor Blackwell is no murderer, Mr. Wright. But Athena Sykes certainly didn't kill anyone either, Mr. Edgeworth. So it appears neither of us can afford to go easy on the other. Fine. I expected no less. Ooh, I remember this tense atmosphere. It's so invigorating. I'm only reading notes here, but yeah, I feel extra invigorated too. So let's keep going. Someone else was at the scene at the time they say Simon committed the murder.
Hold it!
But that's just speculation.
Objection!
No, Miss Blackwell has proper grounds for her claim.
Objection!
And why didn't you say so in the first place?
Objection!
Oh my god. You're the one who screamed, "Hold it!" and cut me off. Fine, so maybe I jumped the gun by a teeny weeny bit. Ha 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 ha. Now I know what they mean when they say close enough to argue. Moving on. I mean, if he really was out to steal that moon rock, then why the rolling case?
Hold it!
Well, I'm gonna go a bit easier on my voice. This rolling case, I suppose you mean the one that existed in the photo with Prosecutor Blackwell in it. What was absent when the crime scene photos were taken? Oh yeah, there's There's only 2 instead of 3. Yes, that's the one, and Miss Blackwell has drawn a conclusion from these 2 photos. She has? And what is that conclusion? You're the one with her notes? Oh, right, of course. Reading them now, so why the rolling case? Because he was using it to hide someone inside, that's why.
Hold it!
How do you propose he hid a person inside one of those cases? What if the case is not Clonko? What if the case has the robot inside? Because we only see the robot hand. But I mean, for what purpose? Never mind. And how do you propose he hid a person inside of one of those cases? Have you forgotten that we saw just such a thing only the other day? At your own daughter's magic show, she fit a grown person into a small box. Oh yeah, way to ruin the memory of a good day. A magic show? I wish you would have thought to invite me. Actually, I would have liked to go too. My apologies. I'll invite you both next time, I promise. So, wait a minute. What were we talking about again? Prosecutor Blackwell was using the case to hide someone. And the one...
Hold it!
Only Athena Sykes boong. But that's nothing more than conjecture, and it's hardly the only possibility. In that case, what do you think Prosecutor Blackwell had in that case? I think it was the moon rock.
Objection!
There were 3 cases at the scene, but Prosecutor Blackwell used the largest one. Well, maybe the moon rock was large. The moon rock was egg-shaped and only about 8 inches in diameter. It wouldn't have made any sense to use the largest case there just to move that rock.
Objection!
Be that as it may, it doesn't prove Miss Sykes was inside. Now let me ask you this. Can you come up with a better theory of what was in the case? Yes. Yes. Yikes. Give a guy some time to think. Let's see. Should I try to bluff my way through what could have been in that case? Bluff lang, Jay. I know exactly what Prosecutor Blackwell carried from the scene. Just have to find something else that was missing, right? No sweat. Ooh, I'd be very interested in hearing your theory, if it's true, that is. This is a crime scene photo taken after Blackwell left, right? All to do is compare this with... Itu orang tangannya, anjir. Menurut gue sih robotnya. This photo of Prosecutor Blackwell to see what's missing. If you took something with him, then it should be in one of these photos. Lady Luck, don't fail me now. Alright then, Mr. Wright, let us hear your theory. What did he take? It's this.
Take that!
Please notice that there is a robot part on top of the cart in this photo. However, in this photo taken after the crime, the robot part is gone. In other words, this part is something that was taken from the scene of the crime. You do appear to be right. I don't see it in the second picture. But it's just a piece of junk. Hunk of junk. How important could it be? Is it really just an insignificant robot part? Speaking of which...
What are you looking at? I'm gonna start charging for each glance per eyeball.
Stingy. What happened to the age of free previews? Your Honor, about this robot part. Doesn't it look like it could be an arm from that robot there? Well, now that you mention it, it does, doesn't it? But the case is still too big to be practical for just a moon rock and a robot arm. But was it really just the one arm that was in there? What about the whole robot? If it wasn't Athena in the case, then maybe... See, the whole robot! I believe there was another robot at the scene that looks just like the one here. Your Honor, is it the defense's assertion that it was this other robot that was in the case? What?
Objection!
We can't be certain that part belonged to a robot. Yes, it looks like the arm of the one before us, but it could be something else entirely. Besides, it's wrapped entirely in bandaging, making it difficult to verify what it is. Oh, come on.
Objection!
I know for a fact that it is a robot arm. I can even tell which robot it belonged to just by looking at it. Yeah, there's a photo. With this information, we can investigate whether it was there at the time or not. But Mr. Wright, I thought you were more of the technologically illiterate type. When did you become such an expert? I feel somehow abandoned. Not to worry, Your Honor. I still know next to nothing about machines. But I know this piece of evidence proves which robot the arm belonged to.
Take that!
The robot in this picture is named Ponko. But take a look at Ponko's arm. It was Miss Sykes who bandaged it up like that. She must have thought that machines heal in the same way that people do. What an adorable, naive mistake. It reminds me of my own grandchild. The robot arm at the crime scene had the same bandaging wrapped around it. In other words, this robot arm could belong to none other than Ponko. Order in the court. Order, I say. Prosecutor Edgeworth, what do you have to say to this? I concede that the robot is about the same size as a child. But it cannot grab its knees and curl itself up into a ball. Well, maybe what if it was disassembled? Even if it was the largest of the cases, the robot couldn't have possibly fit in there. The case test comes up to about mid-thigh on Prosecutor Blackwell. I see your point. The robot is much taller than that. They've got me there. So then did Prosecutor Blackwell make Ponko fit into the case by compacting her? Of course Ponko would fit. All Prosecutor Blackwell had to do was to compact her. Once taken apart, the robot could have easily fit inside that rolling case. It appears to be a robot assembly device. Disassemble anything in a flash. Push the dismantle button. That sounds pretty neat. Can I push it, Mr. Nick? It sounds rather violent, but Mr. Wright does have a point there.
Objection!
Except that there was a body on the table where robots were dismantled and disassembled. There would have been no room to take the robot apart.
Objection!
But what if it wasn't done on the table? What if the katana was used instead? You mean the sword? Yes, Your Honor. Miss Blackwell, I'd like your opinion as a woman of science. Isn't it true that the katana could have been used to take the robot apart?
I suppose so. Their joints are made of a very tough material. A blade could slice through them.
Thank you for your expert opinion, Miss Blackwell. Thanks to you, we now know that the existence of the severed arm in this photo proves that Ponko was taken apart. In addition, since the rest of Ponko was not found at the scene, we can conclude that the true meaning of this photo is very different from the original interpretation. You can't mean... That's exactly what I mean. This photo does not capture the moment of the murder. What if Ponko killed Metis? It is instead a picture of the moment after the robot was sliced apart. The blood you see where the arm was cut off was transferred there by the bloody katana. Ponko slander. Ponko trying to start a robot rebellion. Most likely, the rest of Ponko is scattered around Prosecutor Blackwell. See, like, my wild idea is, like, Ponko did it, and, like, Blackwell disassembled Ponko and made her forget.
Not hearing this!
Therefore, what was transported inside that case was not the defendant, but a robot. Justice for Ponko. Miss Sykes never was at the scene at the time of the murder.
My body!
Order in the court! Order in the court!
It's true that Ponko was found in pieces after the murder, and I'll admit I repaired her myself afterwards.
Okay. Yes! I'm finally making some progress! Hopefully, I've gone at least one step closer to proving both Athena and Prosecutor Blackwell innocent.
Objection!
Apa lagi anjir. Well played, Mr. Wright. You've made your point abundantly clear. I can see that it wasn't the defendant inside the rolling case, but the robot. Alright, what's going on here? It's never good when he plays things this straight. Does the prosecution withdraw its claim that the defendant was carried from the scene? No, Your Honor, my claim hasn't changed.
Objection!
But Ponko and Miss Sykes couldn't have both been inside that case.
Objection!
The notion that the case was used to carry Miss Sykes was Miss Blackwell's theory. I've been of a different opinion from the outset. Now I finally have the opportunity to voice my theory. But thanks to the defense. Well, what'd I do? Edgeworth? He's been one step ahead of me this whole time. In that case, how do you propose the defendant left the crime scene? Simple. The footage only shows Prosecutor Blackwell from behind. What's more, he's holding his arm in front of his body. If he were holding something or someone. Oh, as in like, maybe Athena's covered. That's hardly evidence. I have proof. The circle Prosecutor Blackwell was wearing. The victim's blood was found on the front of it, and the stain had a highly distinctive shape. A blood stain with a distinctive shape? Please continue, Prosecutor Edgeworth. 7 years ago, the defendant was known to constantly wear a certain item, of which there is only one in the world, a special pair of headphones made just for her. She always wore these big, heavy-looking headphones. She said her mother made them for her as part of her research. And now to show the bloodstain to be in the exact same shape as these headphones. In other words, this was no mere blood splatter. The blood went from the victim's body to the headphones, and then was imprinted onto Prosecutor Blackwell's coat like a stamp. I want to get some wasser. A most gruesome stamp, indeed. Blackwell carried Miss Sykes, who had been hit by splatter, away from the crime scene. This proves that Athena Sykes was, without question, present at the crime scene. And that concludes the prosecution's argument. Ah! Order! If the defendant was indeed at the scene, and there was a suspicion against her. Wait, hold on. I'm opening my drink, and Okay.
Objection!
But we've also shown that the robot was there at the scene as well.
Objection!
I hope you're not making the ridiculous claim that a simple robot was the real murderer. I don't really think that, no, but you can see the possibility isn't there. Detective Fulbright, was the robot questioned at the time? No, I don't see any record of it. I believe it was considered unrelated to the case. But as it turned out, the robot was actually integrally related. Your Honor, the defense would like to call Ponko to the stand. Really? A robot witness? Order in the court, Prosecutor Edgeworth. What do you think about this? Mr. Wright has called all manner of witnesses to the stand over the years, so why not a robot? Nothing surprises me anymore with him. Very well, I will allow the witness. Bailiff, please summon the robot named Ponko. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is not a witness. My name is Ponko.
Yes, I realize that, but when you are at the witness stand, you are the witness.
No, I'm not. I'm Ponko. Say it with me, Ponko.
What an utterly inflexible little robot. You're the last person who should be calling anybody inflexible. You remind me of my grandchild who just learned his own name. Oh, how precious. Alright, Ponko, I'm going to ask you some questions.
Questions? You have questions? Hooray! What are your questions?
I want to know if you were there at the scene of the murder of Meredith Sykes. It was 7 years ago, on the 7th of October, around 2 p.m. in the robotics lab.
Certainly. Just one moment. Searching data. Search complete. Yes! I was there in the robotics lab!
It would seem this robot's testimony is necessary to this case after all. This is great. I just knew Ponko must have seen something important. A murder committed right before this poor little girl's eyes. It's inexcusable. The judge seems ready to adopt Ponko as another grandchild. So, little Ponko, do you think you can give us your testimony today? Oh, so cute. Wow, Ponko, baby, I love.
I went to the robotics lab at about 2 p.m. for my regular charge. Just as I was about to charge out, Athena came in and helped Mommy Meredith. And then Mommy Meredith fell down. After that, I was recharging, so I don't know anything. After I charged up, I was cleaning the room and Mr. Simon came in. And then an error occurred. There's no data after that point.
Well, it sounds like the defendant was, without question, at the scene. However, it doesn't appear that the witness saw the actual moment of the murder. I disagree. This testimony shows that the defendant did indeed commit the crime. What? At the end of the day, we mustn't forget that this witness is still a machine. Being a robot, its understanding and capacity to express itself are limited. So what are you suggesting? The witness's statements need to be interpreted. For example, the terms hugged and then later fell down. Adults don't usually fall down after being hugged by a child. They don't, but... Yes, what this witness's statements are telling us is... that the defendant stabbed the victim with the murder weapon during this moment. What? Before Miss Sykes hugged Dr. Sykes, did the two of them converse?
Yes, they did. They spoke to each other very loudly, but I don't know what they said. Athena is usually so quiet, so I was surprised.
Spoke very loudly. We can interpret this to mean they argued. I see. Murder after a heated argument. And then the victim fell down. I agree that it does sound like a reasonable interpretation. However, Ponko doesn't seem to remember anything that happened after that.
When I'm recharging, I go into sleep mode. But I remember everything before that. I have a very good memory.
You may as well admit defeat now, right? A cross-examination would be useless. Don't be ridiculous. A cross-examination is never useless. Until now. Think about it. Robots don't lie. Well, maybe you just said they misinterpret things. That's why we need to do the thingy. This robot is both an important witness and a valuable evidence at the same time. Nevertheless, I will have my cross-examination. I see you haven't changed. You never were one to worry about wasting time. Very well. Even if it may be a waste of time, you may proceed, Mr. Wright. I'll show you both just how fruitful any cross-examination can be. Full. Okay. Alright. What I saw.
Hold it!
Your regular recharge? What is that exactly?
I have to refill my battery's power or else I stop working. I go to the lab to do that.
So that recharge occurred around 2 p.m. around the time of the murder?
That's right. I go every day at 2 p.m.
Okay.
Athena came in and hot bumping that is.
Hold it!
Hugged her, huh? Which Edgeworth took to mean stabbed her with a weapon. You said the two of them were talking before Miss Sykes hugged her mother, is that right?
Yes, they were talking very loudly, but I couldn't tell what they were saying.
Couldn't tell? Even though they were speaking so loudly? Oh, what's this?
I'm only allowed to listen to voices that are directed at me.
Oh, gabalinguping dia. If it listened to every voice, it would be a little better than a mobile eavesdropper. Well, that explains why some of Ponko's testimony is so vague. It's a shame that our little friend wasn't listening in, however. We could have learned what they were talking about just before Dr. Sykes was killed. Now then, what happened after that?
And when Mommy let it slow down, after that I was recharging, so I don't know anything.
Hold it!
I don't want to delve too deeply here, but... Could you tell us how the victim appeared and acted at this moment?
Mommy made so serious surprise when she was hugged. I heard her heart pound.
Her heart? Mr. Wright, have you forgotten about this document we found in the robotics lab? As a matter of fact, yes. Those robots have a heartbeat detection system. Now that he mentions it, I do remember reading something like that there. Can determine the presence of a human, recognize the people, recognize the person by facial features, can infer to people's emotions, tone of voice, and communicate with them. But wait a minute, that means... If Dr. Sykes really did die at this moment, then... Ponko, how was Dr. Sykes after she fell down? Could you still hear the sound of her heartbeat?
Let's see. The moment she fell, her heart was pounding. After that, I don't know. I started recharging just then.
Of all the unlucky timing, who had heard anything after that? It could have possibly proved that the hug wasn't actually the moment of the murder.
I'm very sorry. I'm afraid I don't know. I'm very sorry.
The robot is designed to go into sleep mode automatically, so it can't be helped. But it does appear it detected an increased heart rate at the moment of the stabbing. Well, maybe she just hugged her and she's like, oh my god, my child, Doki, Doki.
After Mommy Metta's heart started pounding in surprise, she fell by the window. It was the round window on the workbench side of the room.
What? On the workbench side of the room? Where's the rounded window? Oh, there! Yeah, like if she wasn't, if she died, quote unquote, there, like why is she on the chair though? The workbench, huh? Panko must be talking about that table to the right where the giant robot is now. Is there something critical in Panko's statement? There is something. Your Honor, I believe this statement is critical. I'd like it added to their testimony. Very well. Panko, could you please add that statement to your testimony? That's a good little girl. That's so cute.
Mommy met it fell down near the round window on the workbench side of the room. After we charged up, I was cleaning the room when Mr. Simon came in. And then a murder occurred. There's no data after that point.
Okay, well, let's present this.
Objection!
Panko, your statement may have just inspired a breakthrough.
I was helpful? Hooray! I'm so happy!
Just to be sure, let's go over it again, okay? The victim fell near the window on the workbench side of the room. However, her body was discovered on the operating table. But the operating table and the workbench are two different locations. Exactly, Your Honor. We've just learned a new, crucial fact. What could explain the two very different locations of the body? I'll tell you what. The victim moved. An 11-year-old girl couldn't have moved the heavy body of an adult. So the only explanation is that the victim walked to the operating table herself. In other words, what Panko observed near the workbench couldn't possibly have been the moment of the murder. Wow. Phew, I am very relieved to hear that. Glad to know that the murder wasn't committed in front of little Panko here. Yes, as we just heard in the testimony, Miss Sykes hugged her mother and nothing more.
Objection!
Right. It's been 8 years, but you're still just as green as ever. Green? But I can't recall ever seeing Mr. Wright in anything but a blue suit. Hey, blue's my favorite color. What can I say? If the defendant couldn't move the body herself, she could have had it moved for her. By Panko. Just kidding, Panko's charging. Can't keep blaming her. Moved for her, but Miss Sykes and Dr. Sykes were the only ones there. I agree, since this robot is equipped with a heartbeat detection system. It would have been aware of another person's presence if someone else had been there. We can therefore conclude that the defendant and the victim were the only ones present. Then who do you suggest move the body? Don't you know it's in the nature of a robot to help? Oh my god, he's accusing the robot! Even I didn't go that far! Don't you know it's in the nature of a robot to help people do things? Mr. Panko. Allow me to ask you a question.
My name is Panko! Say with me, Panko!
I believe you said you were cleaning after Dr. Sykes fell down. Did you happen to move something large onto the operating table?
Yes, I did. Athena asked me to.
Athena asked you to? Why did you move, little Panko?
I don't know. Unless something has an ID tag, I can tell what it is.
An ID tag, you say? But then, like, I'm pretty sure Panko knows Mommy Med's face, so it doesn't matter.
Yes, the tongue with the barcode on it. The robot scanned them to tell them what a thing is.
That paper in the lab did mention something about that. Yeah. Recognizes people by scanning their spacesuit or uniform jacket ID tag, it said. Yes. So it would appear that Miss Panko here can identify what it moved.
My name is Panko!
But we humans have the power to imagine what it was, do we not? We do? Well, I do at the very least. Miss Panko, on the defendant's command, moved the body onto the operating table. Ah! Panko, did you really move Dr. Sykes' body? This is really important. Isn't there any way you could tell?
I don't know! Without a light I can't tell!
Give it up, Wright. If the victim's heart was stopped, the robot's detection system would be useless. Ah, naruhodo ne. But what about the face? You can still tell the face. Furthermore, Dr. Sykes usually wore her white coat while she was working. She kept the jacket with her ID tag on and draped over a chair in the robotics lab. And only wore it for special occasions. In other words, the victim wasn't wearing her ID tag at the time. From the robot's point of view, her body was simply just another object.
Objection!
But Panko is equipped with a facial recognition system. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What about that? If she really did move the victim, she could have recognized the body as Dr. Sykes. What if the face was covered with the tissue? But if she didn't, so that means...
Objection!
Yeah. A face can easily be covered with a piece of cloth, a mask, or anything else for that matter. With their facial features hidden, the robot wouldn't be able to tell it was Dr. Sykes. He's right. To summarize, Miss Sykes stabbed her mother near the workbench, then using the robot, she moved the body to the table, where she removed the sword and it was stained in blood. Bruh. What? Order! But if that's the case, then I have a question. Why did the defendant move the body to the operating table in the first place? You want a reason? Very well. What? You can't possibly have an explanation? Your emotions blind you to the truth. You could learn a lot from our robot friends. Calm and rational thought will open your eyes to the truth in front of you, Mr. Wright. Now then, do you remember the operating table's one special feature? What? I believe I read that robots can be assembled and disassembled there, isn't that right? That's right, and to the defendant, who was just a child at the time, maybe maybe if we reassemble Metis, she will be alive again. The table was like a magic box that could make robots appear or disappear in seconds. But in the end, my mom just put her on the operating table and fixed her in a flash. I was so impressed by what my mom did. I even asked her if she would put me on the table and fix me if I ever got hurt. Exactly, see, maybe that's what she was trying to do. Oh my god, mommy is dead. Please, Panko, bring her to the operating table and... blah, 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 blah. It looked just like magic to me what she could do. I called it fast stream? What even did I say? You can't possibly be suggesting... This young, sheltered girl had a difficult time distinguishing robots from people. But take a look at Panko's arm. It was Miss Sykes who bandaged it up like that. She must have thought that machines heal in the same way that people do. What an adorable and naive mistake. It reminds me of my own grandchild. No way. I refuse to believe it. Miss Sykes made a childish, naive, and cruel mistake. She thought that if a robot could be dismantled and vanish without a trace... No, that's too evil! Don't say that. I know what he's implying. Prosecutor Edgeworth, if you're about to claim what I think you are, I demand that you word it as delicately as you can. With all due respect, Your Honor, all I can do is present the truth as it stands. Edgeworth is saying that the reason is because Athena wants Metis to be disassembled and like basically get rid of evidence. The reason the defendant moved the victim's body to the operating table.
Hold it!
No, don't say another word. Just stop! Was to dismantle the evidence so that she could get away with her crime. That can't be true! Of course, that's BS. Order in the court. Order in the court, I say. Edgeworth? She was just a little kid. How can you say such a horrible thing? Horrible? Like I said, you're just as green as ever. I came here today as a prosecutor to seek only the truth. No more, no less. My theory is simply the result of a rational consideration of every possibility.
Objection!
But dismantling isn't the table's only function. It can make repairs as well. It's conceivable that Miss Sykes moved her mother to the table in order to fix her, but sadly it doesn't really matter, right? I suppose that could be another way of interpreting it. But dismantle or repair, it doesn't matter either way. What do you mean? After murdering her mother, Miss Sykes may have come to her senses. Perhaps she didn't want to make it appear as if it had never happened. And that's why she tried to repair her mother. Yes, that's one possible explanation. But we mustn't forget the facts of this case. The victim was observed to fall down after being hugged by the defendant. And the body was moved per the defendant's command. These two facts that indicate the defendant's guilt, remain unchanged. This just can't be true. Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence to refute the prosecution's claim? Evidence? Right, let's see. I can't think of any. I'm afraid I don't have any evidence. Since becoming chief prosecutor, I've learned that the truth isn't always pretty. Now accept the truth, Mr. Wright. Your subordinate murdered her own mother. Your Honor, the prosecution demands a verdict. The hostages have suffered enough. What a terrible and tragic conclusion. If the defense has no counter-argument, I see no need to further prolong this trial. Edgeworth's argument seems solid enough, but... There's no way Athena could have ever done anything like that. Let's bluff. What do I do? There has to be something. But I can't think of a single thing! Whoa. What? Who is it? Oh, Simon? Prosecutor Blackwell? This is quite the farce you are conducting here. I could die from laughter. Prosecutor Blackwell, what are you talking about? What I'm talking about is that your argument is based on an entirely false premise. Go on, we're listening. Could this be the miracle I need? What is Prosecutor Blackwell trying to pull here? 7 years. For 7 long years, this case has been on my mind. Not for an instant did I not think of it. I'm the one who killed my mentor, and don't think you can alter that fact now. Your baldness, I will take to the stand, and I won't take no for an answer. Well, of course, Prosecutor Blackwell, please go ahead. Bentar, aku mau ini mau idol meeting dulu. 7 years ago, I went to the idol meeting. Oh, yeah, I have polvoron. Polvoron, no. Polvoron is crisp rice. I don't know, man. Polvoron, ito loh, makanan Filipin. Seven years ago, I went to the Cosmos Space Center with the intention of killing Dr. Sykes. But when I got to the robotics lab, I found Athena there instead. Oh. I would not be swayed from my purpose, so I waited for Dr. Sykes to return. And then, I committed the act. Ah! How cathartic it was. Bodo amat, anjir. But little Ponko here witnessed the victim falling. Ponko's just like his granddaughter now. In other words...
Objection!
I don't need any of your other words, old man. I can guess what happened. Which would be... She fell means she fell. Merely that. A mother and child fooling around. Perhaps she tripped. Not that it matters. When I entered the lab, there was no trace of Dr. Sykes to be seen. There was no dead body either, of course. Meaning she must have left the room. So the murder occurred after the time period Ponko described in her testimony. Huh. You should hardly take stock in the words of a wind-up toy. Yeah.
Objection!
Then, how do you explain the fact that the defendant had the robot move something? Athena was always tinkering with robots on the operating table to amuse herself. And she always had Ponko move the heavy ones for her. At day was no different. Bonko moved a heavy robot for Athena. This is awful. What he's saying seems to make sense, and yet...
Objection!
Prosecutor Blackquill, are you trying, even now, to turn away from the truth? Don't you realize we could bring the dark age of the law to a close today?
Objection!
You expect too much from me. I'm just a murderer, beyond redemption. Why don't you just let me go so I can settle down into hell? Ugh. Prosecutor Blackquill's execution is tomorrow. If the truth doesn't come out now, it's all over. Are you saying that the little girl in the robot had nothing to do with the murder? That's right, so let's hear your verdict. If we don't hurry, I miss the ferry across the sticks.
Don't you dare, Josh. Don't forget I have hostages over here. And Simon, how long are you going to cover for her?
Miss Blackquill! Forgive me, Aura. I never wanted you to do anything like this for me. But you agreed to this trial. If you have a counter-argument, then present your evidence. That's the rule of the courtroom. Isn't that right, Chief Prosecutor? Blackquill, you selfish! Well, to be frank, I don't like this, but it's my duty to make a decision. If no one has a counter-argument, I will announce my verdict. Oh, is this really happening? Is it really going to end just like it did 7 years ago? I wanted to do it so bad. Even now, I want to fly out of here and go save him. No, I can't tell her. But how can I lie to Athena? If I can't prove Prosecutor Blackquill's innocence in this trial, I don't think Athena will ever forgive me. I can't let this happen. But I just don't have the evidence to counter Prosecutor Blackquill's testimony. Or do I? Athena is here! Athena, what are you feeling okay? I can hear it. I can hear the voice of his heart. He's hiding something. If he really is, I could sure use Athena's help here. Her power might be just the right thing to get us through this.
Objection!
Sykes Dono. No need for you to chime in here. Just accept that you're innocent. Objection! These past 7 years, they've been just as hard on me, you know? What are you talking about? Do you remember that horrible, horrible trial? Please, you have to listen to me! He didn't kill her! His heart is screaming that he didn't kill her! Even now, every time I stand in the courtroom, it comes back to haunt me. Not being heard, no matter how hard you try. Feeling so helpless. Caught in people's stares. So scared that it feels like your chest is in a vice. I'm terrified of courtrooms. I want to run out of that door even now. And yet, you found a way to keep your fears at bay. And become a lawyer. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, guys. thinks. That's because one day, I came to realize that I had to fight. I couldn't give up. I exercised hard and I studied hard. I wanted to become the strongest lawyer I could be. This day has finally come. The day I've been looking forward to with all my heart. This is why I became a lawyer. This is why I studied psychology. It was all to save you from this false conviction. But Miss Sykes, do you realize what it would mean? You are the accused, after all. If you prove Prosecutor Blackpool innocent, then... The only thing that matters is the truth. It's my duty to find out what the truth is. Simon, please give me this chance. A chance to shake off this fear that's been with me for 7 years and to face the truth. Athena is being so brave, confronting her past like this. This might really be the last chance to save them both. Prosecutor Blackpool, please testify one more time about the incident 7 years ago. Fine, but your efforts will surely be in vain. For I am not a man who can be cut down easily. Here we go, Simon. Let me hear the voice of your heart. It's Mood Matrix time! Okay.
I went to the Cosmos Space Center with the intention of killing Dr. Sykes. Arr, I'm so angry.
But when I got to the robotics, I found Athena there. Why are you happy seeing Athena? I would not be swayed from my purpose, so I waited for Dr. Sykes to return. And then I committed the act. Ah, how cathartic. He's so happy! Because Athena is so small. It's like the same thing like when I saw like the baby Wissa and baby Ollie. This feeling of happiness. Even though the person you were looking for wasn't there, you felt happy. Why is that? My stance is perfect! Yippee! Simple. When I was looking for Athena and hadn't found her yet, I grew worried. So when I saw her in the robotics lab, I was happily relieved. Merely that. Oh, just like that? Just now, you said that you went to the Space Center to kill Dr. Sykes. But the first thing you did was look for her daughter instead? I had no intention of harming Athena, so I wanted to confirm that she was safe first. It was just a part of my plan. Nothing contradictory about that. Gugh. The second I find an inconsistency, he cuts it down. Simon knows the principles of analytical psychology. There's less noise now, but I don't see any instabilities we can latch onto. I was afraid of that. We'll just have to keep chipping away at him, then, bit by bit. Yeah, chip damage, chip damage. Could you update his testimony, Athena? You got it, boss. Okay. Info update. Oh, head pat! Cute! Head patting the small. Whoa, why is he that happy? I don't think you're supposed to be that happy. Well, I think...
Got it!
Not even you can falsify your emotions, Prosecutor Blackquill. He's just so excited. Oh my god, I finally get to stab her! What? When you said that you killed Dr. Sykes in your testimony, you felt sadness. Why would someone who had lain in wait to kill her be sad at her death? Such an obvious attack. Yes, I felt sadness, but it wasn't for her. For Athena. I felt sorrow for Athena and her circumstances. He can't be talking about that, can he? I was just a convenient subject for her research. Dr. Sykes was so intent on her research, she forced her daughter to undergo experiments. My objective was to save Athena from an obsessive scientist who treated her own daughter like a research subject. What? I went to the psychology lab first. That's where I would usually find Athena playing. But that day was different. I heard someone crying in the robotics lab next door. Was Athena being subjected to yet another experiment? I thought as I went to see. Conveniently, Athena had cried herself to sleep, so all I had to do was wait and kill. So that's why he was relieved when he saw Athena. Meta slander. But is this story really true? I'm not sure how much to believe. Mr. Wright? How are you doing, Athena? Still hanging in there? I'm a lot stronger than I look, boss. Now take a look at this. The noise level actually increased. Whoa, okay. It went up? I've never seen it do that before. Prosecutor Blackwell is lying somewhere in his testimony. As a matter of fact, he's piling lie on top of lie in an attempt to make his claims sound more believable. He's trying even harder to suppress his true feelings. That's what's causing the noise. How in the world should I approach this? An evidence-based approach might work if I find a contradiction. Otherwise, I should look for an inconsistency in his emotions. There are no flaws in my testimony, and his boldness is prepared to give his verdict. Give up on this lost cause and let the law free me of these chains already.
Objection!
I don't think so. Not while I'm around. Now, contradictory testimony or inconsistent emotions. Which should I tackle first? I don't even remember his testimony anymore. Okay, let's present some evidence here. Got it, boss. But if you want to go back to looking for inconsistencies... Oh, okay. Just let me know. I can easily switch back. Okay. Wait. Oh, no. Wait, I forgot what happened. It says death was instantaneous. I don't know. Okay, let's see if we can change to emotion. Okay, let's try. Because there was the happy emote. Yeah. Well, the sadness is so big. Why the sadness so big? Oh, okay, never mind, it's wrong. I don't know, but I think maybe we made a mistake. Yeah. I know. There must be an unexpected motion here somewhere. Yeah, but... Wait, surprise! Dr. Sykes came in, so he is surprised and also angry. That makes sense? Oh, okay, why is the shock so big, maybe?
Got it!
How odd. Why would you register surprise at opening the door to the lab? Tisk. Alright. Fine, I'll explain if you must. What surprised me was... Ponko! That toy figure attacked me. Huh. Dr. Sykes knew full well of my plan to rescue Athena. She couldn't stand guard over her daughter 24 hours a day. So Dr. Sykes had Ponko do it. That's right, she ordered Ponko to forcibly remove me on sight. So I slashed Ponko up with the katana that was there in the... That rickety old puppet wasn't worthy of that fine blade. It's happening again! There's even more noise now! Okay, I think we're here. But wasn't Ponko charging? It's at 100% now. What's going on here? Whenever we find an opening, he covers it up with lies. We'll never get rid of the noise at this rate. It's pretty hard to keep telling coherent lies like that. His mind and will really are as sharp and strong as a katana. Alright, what should I tackle first this time? Let's go for his testimony. There might be an accident. Victim's blood. Yeah. Okay, see, like, this says that he dismantled Ponko before he did the murder. But in here, in the photo, it's already... The robot arm already has a blood stain, so even if he did it, disassembling Ponko would go after.
Objection!
Compounding lies with more lies is never the answer, Prosecutor Blackquill. Take a look at this photo. That's the photo of the supposed moment of the murder, isn't it? How many more times must I see that which damned me for my sin? The ironic thing is, I think this picture is actually going to be your savior now. See the blood stain at the end of Ponko's arm where it was severed with the katana? I hope you aren't claiming it's a robot's blood, Mr. Wright. No, most likely the blood was transferred there from the bloody katana. The katana already had blood on it, so that it must have been the victim's blood? That's right, but if that's the case, we found a glaring inconsistency. You said in your testimony that you cut up Ponko and then you killed Dr. Sykes. But in spite of that, the victim's blood is already on Ponko's arm in this picture. What? But that couldn't be. Exactly. In order for the blood to have transferred from the sword to Ponko's arm, the victim must have been stabbed first before the robot was slashed. In other words, Prosecutor Blackquill, your entire testimony is nothing but one giant ball of lies. I thought it was gonna say garbage, but that's just okay. That's just as bad. Tell the court the truth, Prosecutor Blackquill. Now! You have no idea what you're doing. Ooh, new... his voice. There's so much discord! I'm hearing not just one or two, but a bunch of rampaging emotions there. It's hard to describe. It's like a violent whirlpool or something. Whoa. Phoenix Wright, you will pay for this. Never have I been forced to reveal so much, but the rest I'll take to my grave. Prosecutor Blackquill, you are on the witness stand. You're obligated to tell the truth. Isn't that the rule of the courtroom, no perjury? All of these complex emotions, they seem to be flowing from one source. I think whatever he really saw that day is what's causing these feelings. Oh. Bong, bong. Bong, bong, bong. Well, let's probe that terrible scene. Is it Ponka or Robotics Lab? Oh, maybe Athena. Is it Athena, maybe? Athena's covered in blood or some shit. When you opened that door and saw Athena, you became overwhelmed with your emotions. Isn't that right, prosecutor? You should know better. And though it's pathetic, I admit I'm terrified to speak of it. Prosecutor Blackquill, Miss Sykes is innocent. I will always believe that with all my heart. Now, can't you find it within yourself to believe in me too? Athena is innocent, huh? Can you honestly say you believe that to be true? Right, Donal? I give you my word. Now tell me what you really saw when you opened that door. Curse you, Phoenix Wright! Oh, he's gonna open up finally. Oh. It was a tragedy. One I'll never forget. When I arrived at the lab, Dr. Sykes was already dead. She was lying on the operating table, while the bloody katana lay on the floor. And standing between the two, covered in blood, was Athena. She smiled, with a far-off look in her eyes, as she sweetly said, "That is so terrifying. Something's wrong with Mom, so I'm taking her apart to fix her." Sheesh, that's chilling. That's what I saw, and now you have it. The truth that you so desperately wanted. Sheesh. Perfect timing for Halloween, huh? Dang, that was disturbing. The M rating was earned. No. It's not so... I mean... Yeah. It's more like psychologically haunting, you know? Like those creepy horror movies with like children that don't know that they're demon hell spawns. Prosecutor Black will finally tell us the truth, and this is what it is. I watched this movie called Tina and Tina, and it's about this couple who adopted a pair of twins from the orphanage, but then they're just like really weird, and they have these really, really, really bad habits, you know, and they just have like a very disconnected grasp of reality, and it's just like bad things happen, I guess. It's kind of like, ooh, childlike innocence, but it's actually very terrifying. The idea that she was raised so she couldn't distinguish human from robot is so disturbing. Yeah, I mentioned that before, like once. Okay. It's beyond devastating. Hi. You tried to take my mother apart? Hi. Well, she wasn't smiling in any of the anime cutscenes. No! So it was me. I'm the one who killed my mother. Well, we don't know that! Athena! As I said, right, the truth isn't always pretty. Murder, disassembly on an operating table, a scientist using her daughter as a guinea pig. Sadly, it appears that my theory was correct after all.
Objection!
It's true that Athena didn't like her mother's research, but... You dare cast aspersions on my mentor by claiming Athena was used in such a manner? Dr. Sykes could be awkward with people, but she loved her daughter with all her heart. She loved me? Your mother hated to see you suffer because you could hear the voices of people's hearts. She wanted to set you free of your pain, so she worked tirelessly on her research. Do you remember those headphones you hated so much? Yes, my head hurt every time I wore them. No, Athena. It's just the opposite. They emitted sound waves to nullify emotional input from the voices of people around you. Your power was much stronger than it is now. And those headphones were what enabled you to carry on with everyday life. No, it can't be true. Then why? Why would I have done something like that? Because you didn't. To somebody who loved me so much. Her love for you was real. That I can guarantee. That's why I knew. Yeah, she invented noise-canceling headphones, which is like much better because, like, you know how the current technology they can't really suppress voice because the frequency is too varied, you know. So yeah, that's why I knew that what happened had to be some kind of mistake. I couldn't let you be punished for it. So you took the blame yourself. You and your mentor are more alike than you know. Ponko was a witness, so I put it in the case. Held Athena close and vacated the lab. Oh! I threw Ponko away in the boarding lounge trash chute. And I hid the case from the Space Center grounds. It would seem that we now have all of the facts of this case.
Hold it!
No, not yet! It can't end like this!
Objection!
Do not disgrace yourself, Mr. Wright. The truth has been revealed. Or are you the type of man to turn your back to things that disagree with you? I'm not! But this... I can't give up now. I have to say something, anything, even if it's a bluff. I've always managed to pull through that way in the past. I have to make it work. The defense is prepared to present evidence. Mr. Wright. Yes, Athena. It's okay. You can stop now. I don't want you or anyone else to suffer any longer for my sake. Athena, what are you saying? I killed my mother. That's the truth. It's just like Prosecutor Edgeworth said. We have to face it. No matter how much it hurts. I admit my guilt. But could I please be granted just one chance to tell everyone what I recall? Huh! It appears Miss Sykes is much braver than you, Mr. Wright. What say you, Your Honor? In light of her courage, will the court give Miss Sykes this opportunity to confess? Very well. And if you would, please take the stand, Miss Sykes. Aw, man. Press her out of her sadness! Thank you for letting me do this, Prosecutor Edgeworth. And thank you, Mr. Wright and Prosecutor Blackquill, for letting the truth be known. Now we can finally move forward, and everyone's suffering can come to an end. Athena! Prosecutor Blackquill will be cleared and the dark age of the law can come to an end. Yes, admit your guilt and bring everything to its conclusion. I killed my mother. My memory is still a little hazy, but there's no question I remember it. I remember the weight of the weapon in my hands and the feeling of it stabbing in deep. And I remember the warmth of her blood as it flowed down the handle onto my fingers. Your Honor, please find me guilty. I dare say, these are all memories that no one but the murderer would have. I see. Thank you for your confession. I believe this trial has gone on long enough. But before we conclude, does anyone have any counter-argument? Me! I do! I do! Maybe...
Objection!
I do, Your Honor. Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright! Why? I killed her. I remember it now. Any counter-argument now is pointless.
Objection!
Isn't there someone you forgot to ask? Don't tell me you forgot one of the basic tenets of lawyering. Always believe in the client to the bitter end. Athena, you are not a murderer.
Objection!
I said that you never changed, but could you have actually regressed in these 8 years? I won't stand for your childish emotionalism getting in the way of the truth. Emotionalism? Don't lecture me on matters of the heart, Edgeworth. Oh, you're just crying. Because I can see straight to a person's soul. With the Magatama. Yum yum. Oh yeah, she's still got that black psyche locks. We don't know what they are. I did a little research. I looked into those special psyche locks you mentioned, Mr. Nick. Athena isn't trying to keep anything from you on purpose. For some reason, part of her heart and her memories are sealed off, even from herself. Yeah, see, like we can't trust her confession because she don't remember anything. You gotta delicately remove them. There's still a chance. Somewhere deep in Athena's heart, there might still be a memory that not even she knows about yet. It might be like looking for a grain of sand somewhere in the cosmos, but still. That memory might contain a new fact that could prove her innocence. I hope for everyone's sake that you are not just bluffing, Mr. Wright. Now then, is there or is there not a problem with Miss Sykes' confession? What's she said? Yeah, see? Like, if my memory is still a little hazy, that means you don't remember everything. What if you get something wrong? I remember the weight of the weapon in my hands and the feeling of it stabbing in deep. Stabbing in what? And I remember the warmth of her blood as it flowed down the handle onto my fingers. Well, maybe you just picked up the weapon after the murder. There's definitely something wrong with her memory of the event, I can just tell. See? This is the problem. The victim's blood was found only on the blade.
Take that!
Sotoy banget gua. Bener ternyata. Isn't that the katana the defendant used to kill the victim? I respectfully and vehemently disagree, Your Honor. But I remember it! I remember holding the weapon and getting blood on my fingers. That's exactly my point. If blood really did get on your fingers while you were holding it, there should be blood on the handle. But please focus on the handle of this sword. There's not a trace of blood on it. And therefore, this is clearly a contradiction of the facts. You're right. Counter argument be nuh-uh.
Objection!
The defendant must have simply confused a portion of her memories. She mentioned it was hazy to begin with, and we can't mull over every minor detail.
Objection!
She also said, there's no question I remember it. A fact that we can't ignore. In that case, why don't you explain what this contradiction with her memories means? Gladly! Just give me a second to think of something. I want to say that Athena didn't stab anyone. But she said it herself that she remembers the feeling of committing the act. Think, Phoenix, think. What could the contradiction with Athena's memories mean? The defendant used a different weapon? Bro, I don't know. What other weapon? Wipe the weapon? What does that mean? A screwdriver. I don't know if the screwdriver was important. Look at that. Is the screwdriver important? Why is it there even? Ponko? Ponko. Ponko has blood on it. Let's see if there's something else. Not here. The only thing that strikes me weird is the Ponko hand and the screwdriver. But if Ponko was... I don't know, man. Why would there be screw? Anjing, salah. Gua anjing. Yaudah. Salah. Salah pencet anjing, bengong. Yaudah, cepat. Iya, cepat. Berisik, cepat. Kamu cepat, berisik. Yes, Daddy. Sykes said blood flowed down the handle, but the katana's handle is spotless. So doesn't it follow that the defendant must have used a weapon other than the katana? What are you up to this time? This is it? This time I found just the thing to end Athena's nightmare for good. The weapon that took Dr. Sykes' life was the katana, that is such for sure. So if I can show a possibility that Athena didn't use the katana, it could help me prove her innocent. Yeah. A different weapon, you say? What weapon would that be exactly? Right, of course he would ask that. I can see you're floundering, Mr. Wright. Did you speak without thinking again, as always? Of course, yes. How does he do that? But I can't back down. Not here, not now. No wonder people ship Nick and Edgy so hard. Yeah, exactly, and also it's the obviously the rivals, you know, the rivals to lovers thing. I love it. It's my jam. That's right, I did because it's so obvious it doesn't require any thought. What did you say? Okay, so maybe that was an exaggeration, but there has to be something. Was there some other bladed weapon in the robotics lab that day? Maybe there's something in one of the crime scene for... Itu banyak anjir, tuh di toolbox tuh banyak. Tuh apa tuh merah-merah, ini nggak jelas. There is something. There is a high probability that that was in the lab. Do you think Simon and Athena is a legit ship? I think Simon's a little bit too old for Athena. I don't have that particular weapon here in evidence right now, but I do have a piece of evidence just like it. I mean, there are some ships like that that are just like meant to be problematic, and I don't really like care about it. But it's not really my cup of tea, unless there's like something super spicy about it. Isn't he like less than 30? That's a very good question. But remember, like you see him like Simon already tall and Athena still baby. I don't know. Super spicy. By super spicy I mean like if it's actually meant to be like toxic, you know? And it's kind of like reading or watching something about murder, like you know it's bad, but it's like you know it's fictional. And then if it's like a bad ship like that, you're reading it like oh huma huma huma, but you know that it's like supposed to be bad, kind of. You get it? Yes. Yeah, maybe in Simon 27, Athena is 18. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe if Simon is 40, then when Athena is 30, maybe that it would be less controversial. 9 years difference, not unrealistic though. I guess so. I don't know. I mean, if somebody could make it work, then sure. But like out of canon, I don't really see it, to be honest. Sorry, what? This is another blade that may have been at the crime scene. This? Is it the utility knife or the photo?
Take that!
Yeah. But also, yeah, I think like for me personally, the dynamic is like a little bit, you know, it's not just the age, but the dynamic too, I think. Because they've been known each other since they were the babies. That's the murder weapon in the clay Terran case. This is the knife that took Mr. Terran's life. But there must have been a knife just like this at the scene 7 years ago as well. Toolkits containing utility knives like this one are issued to Space Center employees. And the robotics lab especially would naturally have one of these around.
Objection!
But, besides the katana, no other bladed weapon was found at the site. Speaking of shipping, this is so random, but like when like Callie tweeted her right, her duet with her, you know, her new self and old self, and then I saw Shiori commenting like I ship it. Oh, that made me laugh. It wasn't the investigation report if you didn't know.
Objection!
Of course I knew that. Once you told me just now. And there's something else you already knew. There was a toolkit at the scene. I was like, oh, that's so funny. But it didn't contain any blades. Here's a photo of its contents. It's kind of like love yourself, you know? Ooh, gyaksa. Oh, look at that. That's like all messed up. My brain's just like, oh my god, this looks like a puzzle and I have to rearrange them. I don't see any kind of bladed tool. Fine, maybe. But isn't there something odd about the design of these handles? Didn't you shift the two marines? Which one? Therefore, there was no other bladed weapon in the room.
Objection!
I disagree. This tool could contain a knife. And what proof do you have of that? Please let me do it. Please let me actually do the puzzle, but I guess not, huh? The game probably wouldn't allow me to do that. A regular marine and RTX marine? Like crony and crony, too perfect. Don't tell me your eye for art is failing you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You are the last person in the world who should be criticizing my aesthetic sense. Now, he is simply watching out for your ocular health. Please proceed, Mr. Wright. Please let me play! Please let me play! Notice that the handles of each of the tools have a sort of design on them. Yeah, it's gyatsa. I see that they do, but what significance does that have? It's clear that one of the tools is missing from this kit. If you rearrange the tool into a specific pattern... Yeah, increasing trends of shipping towns with themselves is the easiest solution. It's a win-win. Win-win for me, win-win for you, win-win for everybody. No more ship wars because everybody ships themselves with themselves. We might be able to tell which part of the overall design is missing. Is that the theory your pitiful sense of aesthetics helped you come up with? We need an alt to ship you with? What? Ano Aozora no Seida? And love me, Reine. Duh. That's the easiest. Edgeworth, just let it go, man. Show the court then, if you would. What pattern or design would we see if we were to rearrange the tools? Gyaksa go blog? Space Center pamphlet? Or robots with a heart? Which one? Which one do we present? This? No? Pamphlet kana?
Take that!
And what design is this supposed to represent? The Gyaksa logo, Your Honor. It's on all of the Space Center's documents and pamphlets. As you're aware, Gyaksa is the program that operates the Cosmos Space Center, the CSC. Look at how brightly the Gyaksa logo shines in the sunlight above the entranceway. ID Reine and Ian Reine. I really dig the stars and the rocket motive it's got going. Gyaksa, huh? Isn't that the new name of the Federal Space R&D program? I think I see it now, but... Yes, with just the tools shown in this photo. The red A part of the logo is missing. And this is where the murder weapon from the Aturan case comes into play. If we were to place the utility knife in the open slot... Ooh, jojom. It would complete the Gyaksa logo. So it would. Admit it, Mr. Edgeworth. My aesthetic sense is keener than yours, and while you're at it, admit that the weapon Miss Sykes used could have been this one. No puzzle. Sad. Away! Order in the court. Miss Sykes confessed to having a memory of stabbing the victim. Admittedly, Miss Sykes most likely did stab someone using the utility knife. The real culprit, is it? However, the weapon used to kill Dr. Sykes was the katana. Therefore, the act of stabbing that Miss Sykes remembers couldn't be that of Dr. Sykes. What if it's the grandpa? Just kidding. We're like... Wait, check the age of... Whose age are we checking earlier? Was it Athena? Oh, it's literally 10 years. Okay, cool. Clanko! Beautiful baby Clanko, my baby! Very well. Let's suppose for a minute that Miss Sykes did use the utility knife. Tell me, how does that change anything? Huh? Come again? What if the katana was only being used as a decoy to conceal the true murder weapon? What if the real weapon that took the victim's life was the utility knife? Don't be ridiculous, or are you changing the premise of your entire argument? What? I'm merely offering a hypothetical situation derived from your logic. Oh, so it's my fault now. Miss Sykes could have put blood in the katana. What do you mean with what? Halloween shop? To make it look like the murder weapon. And then conceal the knife on her personage until Blackwell carried her away. What? Wait, shoot! What if it's the same knife? And whoever's the killer is has been like carrying it until now. I don't know, man. Whatever. That does clear up the contradiction between Miss Sykes' memories and the evidence. If, in fact, the murder weapon is a utility knife, then fate has dealt you a cruel hand. For you have just proven the knife's existence to the rest of us with your own logic.
Objection!
The prosecution is attempting to lead the court.
Objection!
You're the one attempting to lead the court, Mr. Wright. Just kiss you two G's. By forcing us to forget the facts of this case. Need I remind you that there were only 2 people in the lab at the time of the murder? And that the defendant herself recalls stabbing someone with her own hands? Well, what if that someone wasn't the victim? No? It matters not whether the murder weapon was a katana or a utility knife. As long as we know that the victim and the defendant were the only ones there. You cannot escape the fact that it was Athena Sykes who killed her own mother. I don't believe it. Why? Why does this keep happening? Every time I find a contradiction, it vanishes and the suspicion keeps coming back. No, do not let him dominate you. It's almost as if... Now you're finally starting to get it. Your contradictions keep vanishing because the charge is true. And suspicion keeps coming back to the defendant because that's where it belongs. Like Phoenix writes, then will you open your eyes and accept the truth? No. No, we have to win. We have to come out on top. This is what the game is all about, right? Do not submit to the prosecution. I don't want to believe it. It can't be true. What if? Mr. Wright, you fought a good fight. Yeah, see, what point would be there in having a decoy murder weapon? Yeah, see, like, you cannot submit to the prosecution. You see, it's like that. Mr. Wright, you fought a good fight. I think you've done all you can do. He needs to give more aura, show more aura of dominance in the room, in the courtroom. Assert dominance, be the alpha. Is giving up really the only option? Yes, we're talking about trials. We're talking about charisma. Hey. No. Snap out of it, Phoenix. What's the matter with you? Giving into doubt. I can't look back. Forward is the only way to go. Yes! No, Your Honor, not yet. It isn't over yet. Right. I can't lose sight of what's important. I believe in Athena, and I always believe in her, to the very end. A defense lawyer never gives up on his clients. I have to pick myself up and stand firm. Make that brain of yours work, Phoenix. If I don't see a way, I'll just have to go back and look for one. Exactly. Time to rethink this case thoroughly. Oh, yes, we're going here. I concede the fact that Athena must have stabbed someone with a utility knife. This must have been what Ponko witnessed as Athena's hug. But Prosecutor Blackwell didn't see the knife at the scene. This means that someone must have removed it from the lab before he arrived. Who could have taken the utility knife from the lab? Someone else? Wait, if Hug, then maybe the if Ponko said Athena hugged Metis, right? But someone else, right? It's definitely someone else, or else we're going nowhere. Then I have to conclude there was a third person. Metis might have tried to protect her daughter. True. But according to Ponko's testimony, Athena and her mother were the only two there because Ponko didn't recognize the person. How did this third person manage to escape Ponko's detection? This person must have fooled Ponko's facial recognition by covering their own face. Wait a minute. Ponko has a heartbeat detection system too. Even if they covered their own face, Ponko would have still detected their presence. But she wouldn't have been able to tell who they were. Wait, that's it? Because he's a robot. Posed as Metis. Whoa. So it wasn't even Mommy Metis. If the pearl culprit posed as the victim, it would explain why Ponko thought only she and Athena were there. As all they had to do was take advantage of Ponko's basic recognition features. Dang, okay. It was Mommy Imposter. The culprit used this in order to pose as the victim. Her jacket. Because she never wears it anyways. The culprit could have posed as the victim by wearing her jacket with the ID tag on it. But that still leaves the heartbeat detection system. How did the culprit get around that? It wouldn't have worked if Ponko could detect the real Dr. Sykes' heartbeat too well. She was dead! Just kidding. If that's the case, then who did Athena stab? The real culprit. That's it! Damn! Sheesh. The person Athena stabbed wasn't Dr. Sykes. It was the person who murdered her and then pretended to be her. The real culprit. Damn, I'm all hyped up now. Whew! Okay, now that Mr. Wright has finally finished thinking, let us bring this to a swift end. Please give us your verdict, Your Honor, so that we can move on to hostage negotiations. Shut the up, Edgeworth. You're absolutely right, Prosecutor Edgeworth. I hereby...
Objection!
They finally let me play the puzzle. My brain is happy. I didn't say I was finished. I was only pausing for a second. I don't know why my brain's like super awake right now suddenly. I think it's because it's finally waking up, you know? I was so sleepy and yawning, but I don't know why I'm so hyped right now. Because I realized something so shocking, I had to take a break to digest it. You guys probably sensed it as well, because I don't know. I think I've been sounding less tired the past few minutes-ish. But now, I know for a fact that Miss Sykes is innocent. But Ponko saw me. She witnessed the moment of the crime. All the hostages be watching this be like, entertainment. Yes, Ponko did witness something. She saw the hug. In other words, the moment you use the utility knife. And we're finally getting somewhere too, I know. But the person you stabbed wasn't your mother. What are you saying, Mr. Wright? The answer is simple. The person Miss Sykes stabbed was a third person posing as Dr. Sykes. What? How's my hearing doing? I don't know. Do you really expect us to swallow that, Mr. Wright? Swallow! According to the robot statements, there was no third person there, but the robots... Did you really think I wouldn't see through your little dick crust grab for time?
Objection!
After all I've been through, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm disappointed. Don't you know by now that this smile of mine means I have absolute confidence? Ha! You make that pose all the time, regardless of the facts. That's also true. Ponko's strange malfunction.
help you to the sick bay?
Mr. Terran? But that's Apollo you're talking to. Oh, this hunk of junk here is mistaking Apollo for Clay. Maybe Apollo is possessed by Clay's ghost. That was another case of mistaken identity caused by a jacket ID tag. All because Flanco couldn't read Apollo's facial features due to that eye patch. Like Mr. Edgeworth said, a mask could nullify the robot's facial recognition. And then, all the person would have to do is wear the jacket with the victim's ID tag to pose as her.
Objection!
There's a lot of limitations in robotics, huh? Of all the ridiculous theories, what good would a silly disguise like that do? Fool the robot? Have you forgotten that the robot also has a heartbeat detection system? If there was a third person at the scene, the robot would have detected them. I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but that doesn't count for much, I'm afraid. Because by that time, Dr. Sykes' heart had already stopped beating. What? So does that mean... Yes, Your Honor. The person Miss Sykes stabbed... This third person who was posing as Dr. Sykes is her mother's real killer. But that's... impossible! Wow. A mask? The person I stabbed was wearing a mask? Order in the court! Miss Sykes, did you say something? A mask. Yes! I remember a Raden mask. Oh, it's the mask in the... It's the mask in the room. YouTube dying in EU? Ew. Katana did it? That mask. Athena? What is it? No! I remember a man with a mask. How could he? What did he do to my mother? My head. Ah! Miss Sykes, are you alright? Sad. No! Oh, is it rattling? The black psyche locks. They're breaking! Are they? Uh-oh. Are they getting worse or are they getting unlocked? Oh. Is that good or bad? It's all coming back to me. Everything that happened the day my mother was murdered. They're gone! The black cyclops are finally gone. You didn't really stab your mother, did you? It's alright, Athena. Just tell us what you saw that day. I was drawing a picture. When I was done, I went to show it to my mom. I opened the door, and then... It's alright. I'm right here. You're safe, Athena. She was on the floor. By the workbench. With the katana sticking out of her. There was a handkerchief over her face. But I knew it was her by her clothes. And there was a man there. A man?
Hold it!
Quiet, Your Honor. Go on, Athena. He tried to attack me. In a panic, I grabbed the knife that was there, and... dodged at first. So I only got his clothes. His clothes? Wait, not this one. This one! What does that mean, guys? Yeah. So it makes sense now. Yes. So that's why there's a tear there. Whose jacket is that? Is Metis's. Doesn't really tell us anything much. And this time, you got him, didn't you? I did. I remember it clearly now. The knife went into the back of his hand. The back of his hand, huh? Anybody got a cut? Anybody got a cut? No, probably no photos here, huh? Back of his hand. And he kicked me, and I passed out. You wouldn't kick a little girl! Gloves, huh? When I came to, my mom wasn't moving. I had to do something. I had to fix her, I thought. So I asked Ponko to move her to the operating table. Oh man, that sucks so much. Something's wrong with Mom. So I'm taking her apart to fix her. So that's why she said that. Your Honor, as you can see, the defendant has just given us critical new testimony. A man was there before Miss Sykes arrived. A man who covered the victim's face and put on the victim's jacket. This man is the real culprit. Miss Sykes, do you have any idea who this man was? No, I'm afraid I don't. A few moments ago, Miss Sykes mentioned the mask. Athena, can you tell us anything else about that? Yes, the mask. It was my mom's Japanese theater mask. I think it was the one hanging on the wall of the lab. Ah, this mask hanging here on the wall. It was kind of spooky, that mask. My mom used to tell me that a no mask even has the power to turn an ordinary human being into a phantom. A phantom? It would seem that a new suspect has emerged. And that means that all suspicion against Miss Sykes has... Hold it. Hey, Aura! What's the big idea?
You see, this is precisely why I can't trust the court system. Athena Sykes is the murderer. I won't accept any other verdict.
Miss Blackwell, this is not good.
A new suspect? Where's the proof of this person even existed? Who says it wasn't just all a dream in the little princess' groggy little head?
She's right. You don't have any hard evidence of the masked man's existence.
Objection!
Thank you, Mr. Wright. I'll never be able to repay you for all you've done. But I'm fine now, because I can say with certainty that I didn't kill my mother. Athena, I'm so glad for you. More and more memories are coming back now. So I'd like to say one thing if I could. Ponko came to the robotics lab at about 2 p.m. to recharge.
I went to the robotics lab at about 2 p.m. for my regular recharge. Just as I was about to charge up, Athena came in and hugged Mommy Metis. And then Mommy Metis fell down. After that, I was recharging, so I don't know anything.
I see where you're going with this. If Mommy Metis was really the killer in disguise... Right. that he must have come to the robotics lab before 2 p.m. Do I have anything here in the evidence that can help me find this person who came to the lab before 2 p.m.? Before 2 p.m. Is there something? Is there something? Oh, this is Ponko series features. This? I guess? Well, this is the only type of person. Yeah, maybe the corridor. This is Blackwell at the time of the crime, but what about before the time of the crime?
Take that!
This is Prosecutor Blackwell leaving the scene after the incident at around 3 p.m. What I'm wondering is, does the video show anyone else passing by there before then? I don't see anything in the investigation report. It looks like they didn't check. Just as I thought. So if we rewind the footage and go back to around 2 p.m., we should be able to see the true culprit leaving the scene. Very well then, let's take a look. Wow, it's rewind time, Disney. There! Please stop it right there. Oh, who's here? Oh, it's him! It's him! It's the culprit! Look, with the bandage! And the torn jacket! It's just like you said. There is a man leaving the scene of the crime. He looks bald though, or at least like his hair doesn't look flashy. Miss Sykes, do you remember this person? So suspicious. That's him. I'm sure of it. He's wearing my mother's jacket. I did, but what I really wanted to see was her jacket. A jacket on display. That was Dr. Sykes. Can you see it? There's the slash I made with the utility knife that day. And I'm sure that knife is under that jacket somewhere. So then, everything Miss Sykes said... Duh! Exactly, it proves that Miss Sykes' memory was correct. Dr. Sykes' killer arrived at the robotics lab before 2 p.m. He killed her and hit her face with a handkerchief. Ugh. Then, he disguised himself with Dr. Sykes' jacket and mask that were there in the lab. The culprit probably knew beforehand that Ponko charged up every 2 p.m. every day. At 2 p.m. every day, yeah. So like, Yeah. So he waited for Ponko to come to the lab for her regular recharge. By leaving Dr. Sykes' jacket on, the culprit tricked Ponko into thinking he was Dr. Sykes, thereby making it look like she was alive up to the point in time. All to disguise the real time of death.
Objection!
That's crazy. Does that mean Metis just never wears her jacket and like the robots literally don't know who she is? Oh well, but wait, there's the facial recognition though. It's a nice theory, Mr. Wright, but I'm afraid that it's just not possible. Why? Why not? The victim's jacket is clearly visible right there in this video. And that right there is precisely the problem. The ID tag on the jacket at the scene confirms beyond doubt that it belongs to the victim. If the person who left the lab truly was wearing the victim's jacket, then whose jacket is that? Then how could it possibly have wound up back at the crime scene? Maybe they traded the jacket. Because see, the front, you can't see the front, then maybe it's another jacket. How did it get back to the lab? Bro, I don't know. The killer brought it back? Then who? How else? Well, killer brought it back, definitely. Like, who else is gonna find it? I thought it would have been like some dupe jacket, but I guess you would be able to know whose jacket it is, huh? Yeah, so never mind. The killer used the jacket as a disguise to make his escape, but in order to conceal that fact, he had to get the jacket back to the crime scene. So the culprit simply returned to the robotics lab later and planted it there. Contradiction resolved.
Objection!
Except that it would have been impossible because the only people who came to the robotics lab after the killer were Black Quill. And the people who reported the body. Well, maybe it's the people who reported the body, you don't know. And they claimed that the jacket was there when they arrived. Well, maybe they lied. So, when do you propose this mysterious man of yours had the chance to return the jacket? Maybe it's self-reporting, you know. I've played enough Among Us to know this. A puzzling question indeed. When did the culprit have the chance to bring the jacket back? When the body was found? The only time the culprit could have returned the jacket was when the body... See, self-report! Mr. Wright, do you realize the implication of that argument? I do. Most people, when they come across a murder, focus their attention on the body. The culprit could have taken advantage of that split second to plant the jacket. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. In other words, the true culprit of this case, the man known as the Phantom, was one of the first people to discover the body. Exactly. I would never have thought of that. Ooh. Yes. Order! Order in the court. What is the meaning of this, Prosecutor Edgeworth? The body was discovered and reported by a group of 3 people. They were there to collect the space probe's capsule in preparation for the Hati launch. One of those people had a special bag to transport the capsule in. Oh, you mean the shock-resistant bag? Oh, correct. I suppose that if the jacket was in that bag, it could have been returned to the scene of the crime without anyone noticing. I'll see to it that you get the reports on those 3 people. You will? We should also check the facial recognition database for that robot. Oh, so suddenly, you know, it's like playing like hot and cold, you know, like... Oh, suddenly you're so supportive. If this person felt the need to hide his face with a theater mask, it might mean that his facial data was once registered. Prosecutor Edgeworth, does this mean? I have to admit, I believe Miss Sykes' memories to be credible. You win, right? Not that this was ever an official trial anyways. Do my ears deceive me? Prosecutor Edgeworth, are you actually conceding? Is it true, boss? Does this mean I can't believe it! It's over! I won! Wait, no, not yet, just this part. I proved that both Athena and Black Quill are innocent! Your Honor, I see no need to further prolong this trial.
Objection!
Hold on, Mr. Wright. Have you forgotten who's in charge of this trial? That's right, I'm the one who's supposed to say, I see no need to further prolong. Not you either, Your Honor. It's Aura, I guess. Now silence.
A little princess who was truly beloved by Metis, and who repaid that love with death. All these years hating Athena was the only thing that's kept me going. But what do I do now? Can anybody tell me? How am I supposed to go on?
Miss Blackwell. How unlike you, Aura. Metis was deeply passionate about her work, and she chose you as her partner. Isn't that?
Shut up, Simon. You know exactly how I felt about her.
Hello? Excuse me? What? What? Hello?
Her respect as a co-worker wasn't all that I wanted.
Then what did you want from her? Doom Yuri is real? And they were research co-workers! Yes! Yes! What do you want from her? Did you really just go there, Your Honor? You see, even Phoenix has tact. Even Phoenix has tact. Yo! Doomed Yuri in my Ace Attorney! Let's freaking go! Anyways, Aura, there is something I've wanted to say, if you will lend me an ear. I have in my possession a lead on who Metis' murderer is. You do? Right, Dono? You asked me about the identity of the Phantom of 7 years past. That's right. The Phantom. The person Blackwell has been looking for, even from behind bars. "7 years ago, somebody hatched a plan to sabotage the Hati rocket. It really do be the Yuri incident. The spy. But he was no ordinary spy. We knew naught about him. His background, appearance. We came to refer to him as the Phantom. At the time, I was working with the police to hunt him down. And then one day, a miracle occurred, and I obtained a lead on him." Ooh, how exciting! What was the lead? Damn music. A recording of the Phantom's voice. But the quality was too poor for proper voice analysis. Yet, I had hope. Aura's co-worker was a scientist who could analyze human emotions. So I asked her to evaluate the recording using analytical psychology. And that scientist was Dr. Sykes! Yes, a spy's greatest fear is to have his true identity discovered. In addition to Hati, Dr. Sykes' results in the recording were surely among his targets. That's why! That's the motive! But his search of the Space Center bore no fruit, so he must have started to panic. He couldn't find them. Where could they have been? Who is to say? Wow, I bet he's never let that out of his sight all these years. How in the world did you smuggle them into prison? Oh, I have my ways. What's more, my partner is especially talented at that sort of thing. Ooh, Taka! Let's go! I worked to lure the Phantom in by spreading rumors throughout the underworld. I was even granted permission to prosecute cases to attract the Phantom's attention. "Just try to retrieve your identity, you bloody butcher," became my taunt. And what about the results Dr. Sykes drew up for you? Was there any useful information? Here, you can see for yourself. But take good care of it. It's all I have left of my mentor. I will. I better hold on to this real tight. The subject's emotions rarely fluctuate and he doesn't experience feelings like normal people do. So he's like a psychopath? Psychopath or sociopath? Psychological profile classified. Emotional output of this voice extremely weak compared to typical voices. Some type of path. Subject deemed to have unique psychological makeup with almost no emotional fluctuation. No emotional fluctuation, huh? Oh, sociopath have feeling, but just low. But no emotion is psychopath. A spy who experiences no emotions, not sadness nor anger, and naturally no fear. He is the very definition of a phantom. A monster with no heart, don't you see? This creature is the rot that destroyed our lives and set what ails us all into motion. The Phantom indeed. A fitting name for the one who has brought darkness to our world. Well then. It seems a faint image of this man has started to take shape. Based on what we have learned, I would like all of you to conduct further investigation. This is not a formal trial, but I do want to follow protocol. If I may, I'd like to hand down my verdicts and bring these proceedings to an end.
Whatever. Do what you want.
You'll hear no objections from me. Yes, please, Your Honor. It's over. It's finally over. Very well, in that case. Prosecutor Blackquill, could you please take the stand? As a result of this trial, your innocence has been proven. The verdict handed down 7 years ago is hereby overturned. Gajari mati! Yay! No dying! And now, the defendant of the current trial, Miss Athena Sykes. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, thank you. Thank you for everything. Athena, you're more than welcome. If everyone is ready, we'll now give my verdict. Hold it! Oh, objection! That's even worse! Is it Apollo? Who is it? You. Oh, shut up! Apollo! What is the meaning of this? Congratulations, Mr. Wright and Prosecutor Edgeworth. You uncovered the truth from 7 years ago. You saved Prosecutor Blackquill. However, I can't allow this trial to end just yet. Why? Stop it. Get your own trial. Why, Apollo? Why would you do this to us? Bro, come on. No, we're continuing. We are continuing. Get your own trial, man. Okay. Mr. Justice, please explain yourself. It's very simple. There isn't much to explain. The defendant, Miss Athena Sykes, might not be innocent. Shut up! What are you talking about? The case from 7 years ago has been settled. I'm not talking about the past here. I'm talking about the present case. It's still not clear who killed Clay Terran. Well, schedule your own trial. But Apollo, why would you? The hostages be like, ugh. Miss Sykes, please listen quietly to what I have to say. What in the world is Apollo trying to do? Your Honor, please allow me a little of the court's time. A little? I'll give you 5 minutes. But this is a trial for the case from 7 years ago. Yeah, tell him, Judge! Miss Blackquill, I'd like to ask a favor of you. Just as you lost someone close to you, I lost someone close to me too. Shut up. Shut up! What if your bestie is the spy? What are you gonna do, huh? Where are you gonna put your face? The spy who killed Aura's research roommate thingy, whatever. What then, huh? Shut up! I'm sure you want to know the real truth of what happened as much as I do.
Hello? Sure, you know I'm all for the truth. Now let's see you expose the princess's guilt. Judge, I give my permission. Continue with the trial.
Hostages be like, aw, man! Doom Yuri is over. It's Doom Yaoi time. Very well. Is that all right with you, Prosecutor Edgeworth? The prosecution has no objections. Let's hear Mr. Justice's testimony. I'll have the police's investigation report brought immediately. Not you too, Edgeworth. I really hope it's because you have something up your sleeve. Very well. Your opening statement, please, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Oh, come on. It's okay. As you wish. Let's review the case of the murder of Mr. Aturan. Missing out on some of these cases, but what's her stake to pin the murderer on Athena? Because she hates her. Because she hates her. Hates the little kid. It was made clear in the previous trial that Solomon Starbuck was not his killer. Therefore, the true culprit was someone else. On that day, this culprit waited for the astronauts in the boarding lounge 1. When the two men made their escape out of the Space Museum. Sleeping. Yo, see, Aturan has freaking gloves on. We don't know what's in there. Does it have a scar? We about to find out. Strip him. His gloves. The killer attacked Mr. Aturan with the same type of knife that was used 7 years ago. I'm like so mad at him, even though he died, just because how Apollo's acting right now. The murderer then escaped into the Space Museum. Next, director Yuri Cosmos switched the launch pads. Oh my god, we're back to the current case, and I already forgot. Oh, the ungloved hand is the one that was stabbed. Oopsie. Alright, whatever. My bad. My anger has blinded me. After that, the culprit exited the Space Museum and escaped via the boarding lounge 2. Like, I don't like the rotating thing. It makes my brain spin, not in a good way. Therefore, this trial must make clear who Mr. Aturan's true killer was. In other words, we must discover who it was that escaped through the Space Museum that day. Thank you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Mr. Wright, is the defense ready? Yes, Your Honor. I'd better rearrange my evidence. Relevant evidence swapped into the court record. Okay. Now then, Mr. Eustace, your testimony, if you please. Oh my god. Okay. Apollo Justice's accusation. I suspected Miss Sykes of the murder of Aturan. My growing suspicions were confirmed when this incriminating evidence presented itself. It's understandable too for Apollo because he wants to find the real killer of Aturan. I know, but it's kind of like you're watching sports, you know. You gotta pick a side. And I'm Team Athena, you know. It's just like watching sports. You gotta like be Apollo versus Athena. Whose side are you on? Who you betting for? I'm betting for Team Athena. You get it? Sorry, am I growing? Oh, hey, Anya! I hope you enjoyed mouth washing. Yo, I hope you guys enjoyed mouth washing. When this incriminating evidence presented itself, in addition, she's the only one who could have utilized the launchpad switch to escape. Yeah, Anya streamed mouth washing earlier. Yeah, anyways, yeah, this is spoiler territory, by the way. We are at like a really good case. Like a... tao deh, penting pokoknya. Yeah. It's Anya the nurse? That is why I wish to indict Miss Sykes on the charge of murder. Yeah, I wanna know what you guys think about the game because I really liked it. Yeah. Order in the court. Mr. Eustace, you realize you are charging your own co-worker with a murder, don't you? Yeah, he's being stupid. Yes, Your Honor, because that is the conclusion my investigation has led me to. You are not seeing things clearly, Apollo. We're all mentally scarred now? Beautiful. But Apollo, why? How could you suspect me too? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. I don't get it. Just what did you find out over the past few days to make you think this? Alright. Blah 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 basic. What first made you suspicious of Miss Sykes? It all started when Miss Sykes and I were investigating the crime scene. When she saw the weapon that killed Mr. Terran, my bracelet reacted. Well, that's because she was suppressing her trauma, boy. She said she'd never seen the knife before, but my bracelet told me otherwise. Well, you were late. That's why you missed all the important info. It's so late. You are late. We already know everything. And then every time after that, my bracelet would react when she talked about the case. That's why. Maybe if you arrived like maybe 1 hour earlier, yeah. Poor Apollo must have been beside himself during that investigation. Man, I know he's been suffering though. I get it. I didn't know what to do or think. I couldn't even sleep. Just like me. I understand him though. I sympathize. In that condition, I knew I wouldn't be any good in court. So I decided to wear an eye patch, so I wouldn't be able to perceive any of her tells. Oh. So his eye is not even wounded. So he covered her perceiving eye because he wanted to be like, oh my god, I don't want to doubt her. Damn, okay. Okay, I see. So that's why Apollo was acting so strangely. But the reason Miss Sykes unconsciously reacted to the knife that way is because she stabbed her mother's murderer with one identical to it 7 years ago.
Objection!
But that knife was also the murder weapon that was used to kill Clay Terran. My bracelet could have also reacted to her because she knew she was his killer too. I guess he has a point. But my bracelet wasn't the only reason I became suspicious of her. What else though? This is actually interesting, so I'm gonna be willing to give him a listen. My growing suspicions were confirmed when this incriminating evidence had presented itself. That's the lighter that was found in the Space Museum with her fingerprints on it, right? Yes. But even if it seems decisive, there must be other facts we don't know about it yet. Well, if it's actually hers, how come we've never seen it? She doesn't even smoke. If that's so, go ahead and prove it then. Look, honestly, I don't want to believe it's true either, but Miss Sykes was the only one who was in the Space Museum at the time of the murder. But Mr. Justice, Miss Sykes had absolutely no motive to kill Mr. Terran.
Objection!
7 years ago, Miss Sykes lived at the Cosmos Space Center. It wouldn't be strange if she had some kind of connection to him. Besides, people sometimes kill for motives we can't even imagine. Well, that's true. I know you've seen plenty of cases like that in your own career, Mr. Wright. I still can't believe this. How can you actually suspect Athena, Apollo? In addition, she's the only one who could have utilized the launch pad switch to escape. Really? I guess. Isn't it possible that somebody else used that same escape route? I'm afraid not, Mr. Wright. Why not? Recall there is a security camera in boarding lounge 1 aimed at the launch pad door. It's the camera that captured Mr. Terran and Mr. Starbuck. But there's also another security camera in the boarding lounge too. And then? Where are you getting? Oh no! It recorded Mr. Terran's killer, or rather Miss Sykes, coming out of the Space Museum. A camera in boarding lounge 2? First I've heard of it, but it makes sense. Athena said she had snuck into the Space Museum the night before the incident, and then was overcome and passed out until around noon the next day. I was out until about noon of the next day. I didn't even know about the explosions. When I woke up, nobody was around, so I just went out into boarding lounge 2. Oh man. That must have been when the camera captured her. And that's what made Apollo suspect her even more. But wait a minute. Wait a minute. In that case, they most likely recorded the true culprit as well.
Objection!
Yeah. That's a negative on that one too, Mr. Wright. In the footage taken after the incident, Miss Sykes is the only one who appears. Hanturong. What? Why? Order in the court. That can't be, but if it is, then it is incredibly incriminating. Wasn't it you who proved in a previous trial that the way the true culprit escaped was via the Space Museum after the pads had been switched? A fact you previously proved turned on its ear, leaving your client high and dry. I must say, that is vintage Phoenix, right? Oh god, vintage. Ah. That is why I wish to indict Miss Sykes on the charge of murder. Believing in your client to the end is a basic principle of good defense. Shouldn't you extend that same principle to your own co-worker? I mean, not really. You're probably right. Maybe I'm not even fit to be a lawyer. However, I don't care. This case is special to me. Clay was my friend. And that's why I just have to know the truth. Well, I guess, you know, he's being like this because I guess he desperately wants to know the truth. It's not really because he's evil, he wants Athena to be jailed, but like if Athena really didn't do it, then prove it and give me who it is. Like he's very desperate. You know. Apollo suspected his trusted co-worker of killing his friend. It's kind of like how Phoenix and Edgeworth are always like, you know, at each other's throats. But that's like for the sake of finding out the truth, I guess. Apollo suspected to dispel his doubts, he investigated on his own, but that only led to more doubts. Yes, Apollo must have been really struggling with this. Yeah, especially like alone and, you know, he's grieving. Well, Apollo may have doubts, but I'll say it again. Athena Sykes isn't the murderer. And I have only one thing to say. Evidence is everything in court. Well, Mr. Wright, think you have the concrete proof to knock down my arguments? Yeah, I think like the first game is just like presenting Apollo as a lawyer and basically his gimmick, introducing him how he is as a person. And now we're just, you know, and now it's like the second game. It's time for some character development. Your arguments have been very clear, Mr. Justice, and your facts appear to be indisputable. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think of my theory? Looks like not even you can deny it. Miss Sykes was the only one who used the only possible escape route. Under these circumstances, there can be no other suspect but the defendant. Unless you think there was an alternative escape route. Is that what you think, Mr. Wright? Ooh. Is that what you think, Mr. Wright? Is that what you think, Phoenix? Was there an alternative escape route? Of course! Bodo amat, anjir. Bluff until you make it. Of course there must have been. Just don't ask me what. You're just bluffing again, aren't you? No shit. Me? Bluff? No way! He knows me too well. It's fine, Mr. Wright. Even a bluff would suit me just fine. As long as you can. Clear up this doubt inside me, yes. Wait, so is that what this is all about? I want to believe in Athena. I really do. But what is faith without doubt? That's why I need to question her guilt. So that once the truth finally comes out, I can really, fully trust her. So that you can really trust me? It seems your junior partner has just showed us what trials are truly all about. Yeah, let's go. I believe you're right. We prosecutors painstakingly question every detail in pursuit of the defendant. While we lawyers believe in and defend our clients to the end. When both sides go all out against each other, that's when we discover the truth. Precisely. And when the battle is over, we'll understand the true meaning of trust. That is exactly what trials are about. Wouldn't you agree? Yes, I couldn't ignore the seed of doubt that was growing inside me. So I decided I needed to face it head on. No matter what the truth is that's waiting ahead, I won't be afraid. That's so like Apollo. Always uber earnest about things like this. Hot emotional drama between men. Mr. Justice, I vow to dispel every last bit of doubt in your hearts. Good, because I want to believe in Miss Sykes again. You're really hoping there was an alternative route, aren't you, Apollo? If I use the process of elimination, there really aren't that many possibilities. Director Cosmos was at the southern exit. Just to clarify, my mind is blank. I don't really remember anything much. Or my brain's like not working when it comes to this current case, but eventually I'll get it running. Director Cosmos was at the southern exit, leaving only the control room in the corridor to the Space Museum. Which door could the culprit have escaped through? I don't know, bro. Come on, Mr. Wright, where do you think the culprit escaped to? I don't know, Polo, shut up! So he was here, and then he was here. Oh my god. It's definitely not the Space Museum, right? Wait, which one had the... Oh my god. Is it... If it's the Space Museum, then... If it's the Space Museum, then we're gonna meet Athena. Right? What is the... Manju. Corridor? Which corridor? Mana koridor? Oh, ini maksudnya. Iya, soalnya control room kan nggak bisa karena cuma bisa direktur ini kapten. Kapten bisa masuk ini. Ya dia nggak bisa kabur ya. Dia cuma bisa kesini doang dan berarti nanti dia ketemu Athena. Athena lagi bobo. Ya bodo amat dong kalau Athena lagi bobo. Ya biarin bodo amat mungkin. They really only could have expanded the corridor to the Space Museum. All they had to do was use the unconscious Mr. Starbucks prince to get through the door.
Objection!
It appears that all you're trying to establish is Miss Sykes' guilt. Bodo amat, I don't know, I don't care, bro. If the culprit used that route, the only exit would have been to boarding lounge 2. Yes. Real. Betul. The logical conclusion of your argument is that the killer is none other than the defendant. Enggak! Listen to me. I'm getting through it. Listen to me first. I knew it. That's the only way it could be, huh? Enggak. If the culprit escaped to the corridor that leads to the Space Museum, then I guess it's true. The only exit would have been into boarding lounge 2. Enggak. No. But Miss Sykes was the only person captured by the boarding lounge 2 security camera. Enggak. Is there like a map? Was there the circular map? No. I want to see it. If there's the circular map. No, there's no circular map. Whatever. But the only place the culprit could have escaped to was the Space Museum corridor. There weren't any other secret corridors or anything. That leaves us with no other conclusion to draw but that Athena Sykes was the culprit. What could the answer be? Was there really no other escape route? Yes, no. But hold on a second. What if? Ya udah dia nggak masuk ke situ. Where did those mysterious leaves we saw in the corridor come from? What if they're a clue to the culprit's real escape route? Oh, anjir! I think it is possible that the culprit escaped to the Space Museum, but then came out using a route other than into boarding lounge 2. Oh, emang iya? Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum were switched after the bombing, meaning the Space Museum corridor was moving along the rail at the time. Yeah. Which is exactly when an alternative escape route opened up for our carpet. Loncat dong si Oon. Are you kidding me? Judging by the intense look in your eyes, I take it you're serious. Very well then, Mr. Wright, do tell. Where could the culprit have gone from the museum corridor besides boarding lounge 2? Apa katanya? Kemana ke sini? Kemana sih? Aku nggak tahu ini cara baca diagramnya anjir. Ya di sini bukan sih? Bodoh anjing, bodoh amat. We found something odd while investigating the museum corridor this afternoon. Namely, a few dead leaves on the floor. Considering where dead leaves come from, they point us to exactly where the culprit escaped to. Ih, loncat! Oo, emang. Nekat. I remember seeing some leaves myself. Do you mean? Loncat anjir, twing! There's an alternative place that the culprit could use to escape. In other words, the culprit's real escape route was... area outside the Space Center! You're freaking insane!
Objection!
Massive safety violation? Well, I think somebody's dead. We're way past that. Do you know how impossible that would be? That corridor is level with the 3rd floor, so... even if the culprit tried to leap to the outside wall of the Space Center building, they would fall to their death.
Objection!
Ordinarily, yes. But after the bombing incident, the culprit could make use of a certain item. And what item was it exactly, Mr. Wright? Alright, this is what the culprit used to leap to the outside wall of the main building. Mana gua tahu, anjir. Mana ku tahu? Oh, ini bukan. Ini enggak sih?
Take that!
An emergency ladder? There was an emergency ladder in the 4th floor robotics lab. Then it was used that day after the explosion to help evacuate people. Miss Blackwell herself used that ladder to escape down to the ground level. Recall that the launch pads were switched after the ladder was lowered. Gak usah dipikirin, bukan saudara juga ini, ya betul. Ayo. Nice. Yeah. The corridor would have passed by the ladder while the pads were being switched. Yo, welcome to the royalty, let's go. And that's when the culprit literally sprang into action. Humu. Boing! And leapt onto the ladder. What? Who would have imagined? Order in the court. Well, an alternative escape route seems to have emerged. Which means someone other than Miss Sykes could have been the culprit, right?
Objection!
Making things up on the fly in an attempt to sway the court again, are we, Mr. Wright? Your theory has so many holes, it puts Swiss cheese to shame. Alright then, name one. I have here detailed information about the Space Center. According to this, the distance between the museum corridor and the main building during movement is... a full 20 feet. 20 feet? You're pulling my leg, right? In addition, the corridor is 3 floors from the ground, or roughly 50 feet. That's so many. For free? What's more, the culprit would be leaping to a precarious place, an unstable ladder. Ugh. Human beings feel fear in dangerous situation. Well, maybe he's a psychopath. He doesn't feel fear. It's a basic survival instinct. An ordinary person would certainly hesitate before jumping, but that's ordinary people! Or even freeze in fear and not jump at all.
Objection!
But the culprit had just murdered someone. They weren't in an ordinary state of mind.
Objection!
Nevertheless, why would they have taken that kind of risk? They could have waited for the switch to be complete and escaped to the boarding lounge too.
Objection!
Because there was a security camera in boarding lounge too. The culprit knew they would be recorded if they left the Space Museum that way.
Objection!
In that case, the culprit could have hidden in the museum until things settled down, and then blended in with the other people after the museum was opened. That's a good point. Would you claim that, despite all this, the culprit took a 20-foot death-defying leap? Yes. And all in the brief moment the corridor and ladder passed by each other? Yes. That's also a good point. They would have needed a running start while the corridor was moving to make that jump. If their timing was off or if they couldn't jump far enough, it would have been instant death. What kind of person would attempt something like that? People who don't feel emotion. Stop bringing up good points, Edgeworth. This true culprit of yours is nothing but a figment of your imagination. Why do you always have to point out every flaw? Mr. Edgeworth's right. That does sound pretty insane. The culprit would have to be someone who feels no fear like a stuntman. See? Exactly. But everyone feels fear on some level, right? Wait a minute. Aha! I've got it this time. I can prove that there is someone who could have used this alternative escape route. Oh, can you now? This proves the possibility of a person who could have used this. Yeah.
Take that!
What's that, Mr. Wright? This is a certain person's very interesting psych profile. The subject doesn't experience feelings like normal people do. In other words, this person doesn't feel happiness, sadness, or fear. Doesn't feel fear and hunger? Right! You can't be serious! Without the constraints of fear. He could easily do what an ordinary person wouldn't dare. Just as you or I could do a broad jump on the ground without the slightest fear. The subject could make a 20-foot leap 50 feet up in the air. You could choose this extreme way of escaping without hesitation. So you're saying that to a person without fear. The alternative route would be quicker and eliminate the chance that they'd be spotted. That's definitely pretty extreme, Mr. Wright. Was there such a person there at the scene? Yes. The Phantom, that mysterious shadowy figure who keeps popping up. Oh dear! The Phantom? Again? I knew the Phantom was there behind the scenes of the Space Center bombing, but I wasn't sure if he was connected to the murder of Clay Terran as well. Damn, who is it? However, now it's all clear. The Phantom is the one who not only bombed the Space Center, but also killed Mr. Terran. What? What? Oh. Order in the court! Order, I say! Mr. Wright, please continue! There were just too many similarities between this case and the one from 7 years ago. But why, you may ask? It can only be because both incidents were the work of the same Phantom. So then, this Phantom is the one who killed Clay? But who is he? This Phantom has been haunting this case, pulling the strings in the background. Who could this unidentified international spy be? Right. This escape route must have been a part of the Phantom's plan from the start. This was tricking Director Cosmos into switching the launch pads. This bomb on the second floor was meant to make the elevators and stairs unusual. That's why he gave advance warning and planted the bombs where he did. I think you're right. But it doesn't explain this one last thing. So I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. But it was such a pain. Why couldn't they have used the ladders in the other rooms? Sorry, what? What'd you say? Yeah. The robotics lab wasn't the only room with an emergency ladder, but why? But he couldn't have made that leap unless he was certain which one it would be. Uh-huh. So you mean... the Phantom must be someone who knew that particular ladder was going to be used? That's right. Who could it be? Wait a minute. So I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the... Isn't it Fulbright? Leading the detective? The detective? Isn't it Fulbright? Miss Blackpool lowered the ladder after being told to by the detective leading the... Ah! You've got to be kidding me! Did you figure it out, right? Do you know who the Phantom is? Yes, I do. Who is it? Who killed Clay? What the fuck? Our mystery spy, known as the Phantom, is none other than... Bonko? Clonko. After the explosions, a member of the staff crossed paths with a certain detective. I was on duty on the 4th floor. It was quite the madhouse, I tell you. As for the detective who was leading the evacuation from the 4th floor, he had a very specific objective in mind. The fuck? The heck? So I lowered my emergency ladder, like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. Are you serious? You kidding me? The heck was he even doing helping us? His objective was to secure his own escape route. We lowered an emergency ladder from a 4th floor window and escaped that way. Once everyone else got out safely, I made my way down too and headed to the shelter. It is so odd, what the... This is a detective you all know. He's even the lead detective on the current case. He appears to be a very emotional man, but his psych profile says he is without emotion.
Take that!
Oh my. What? Are you saying? You mean the Phantom is Detective Bobby Fulbright? Exactly. We were all taken in by his fake persona. Detective Fulbright's real identity is the Phantom. Yeah, because like that means he's been manipulating us from the start. Order in the court, Mr. Wright. How could this be? That's easy, Your Honor. Detective Fulbright was leading the 4th floor evacuation effort. Our first clue is that he made no attempt to have any other ladder put to use. The ladder in the robotics lab is the only one he ordered to be lowered. The second is that he directed everybody to the basement shelter via this ladder. Verily, it was all a part of his plan to create an escape route. After Detective Fulbright saw to it that the ladder was lowered from the robotics lab, he went to the lounge where he killed Clay Terran and escaped to the Space Museum. The museum started moving slowly, so he waited for the right time. Got a running start. And just as the corridor was passing the ladder, he leaped onto it. I don't believe it. That adult pad-head detective did all that? Was it really him? Why, I mean, all this time I thought... Sorry, we didn't catch your name. My name? I'm Bobby Fulbright, the heroic detective who defends our good citizens from evil. The champion of justice who comes running whenever you're in need. I knew it was too good to be true. And my catchphrase? It's in justice we trust. Then his concern for Simon was also all just one big act? I swore to reform Prosecutor Blackwell and make him a valued member of society again. So I can't just sit by and watch him give in to his emotions and tear the defendant apart. That monster killed Clay? He had me completely fooled. Come to think of it, he's the one who brought that bloodstained lighter to court too. Damn, and it's like, he's the one that's been like shocking Simon. It's like, oh my god, I care about him. I'm like, oh my gosh. This scumbag even made me turn on Athena. Damn it. How the hell did I fall for all that? For him to have wormed his way into the police department as well. Nah. Your Honor, the defense demands to question Detective Bobby Fulbright. Yes, I agree that we need to hear from him right away. The court will take a short recess, and then Detective Fulbright will take the stand. That is so crazy. Oh my god, I did not see that coming. I was so sure it's gonna be like somebody from the Space Center. I mean, technically the fandom was kind of, you know, has something to do with... But what's the motive? Like... I was so sure that it's gonna be like somebody from the Space Center, because like... They keep saying like spy, 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 so I'm like, okay, maybe spy from the Space Center, you know? Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. If it wasn't for everything you did... I... Don't thank me yet. We still have an uphill battle to fight. You got it, boss! Apollo! Well, this is awkward. Athena, can you do me a favor? What is it? Could you... punch me, please? What? Why should I do that? Because I should have believed in you. I let the seed of doubt inside me get the best of me. I'm really sorry that I didn't trust... Ouch! Don't be such a dope! I was really touched by what you did! Huh? Now what are you talking about? I want to believe in Athena. I really do. But what is faith without doubt? That's why I need to question her guilt. So that once the truth finally comes out, I can really, fully trust her. She took the time and effort to genuinely think about who I am and what I'm made of. After all that, how could I punch a true friend like you, Apollo? You didn't have any trouble slapping him a second ago. Thanks, Athena. And thanks for waking me up to reality again. Guess I know now who to call if I ever get sleepy in court. It looks like you have some promising young people working under you. Edgeworth. Yeah, I think they're pretty great myself, and they're not afraid to keep me in line. Anyway, I have some very good news. Aura Blackwell has surrendered and the hostages have been set free. Yay! Juicy and all the others? Oh, thank goodness! Miss Blackwell said she had something she really needed to do, so I granted her special permission to do what she must. I wonder what it is. Oh, hi. Miss Blackwell! I didn't come to apologize, if that's what you're thinking. My actions are what allowed the truth of what happened 7 years ago to come to light. Well, she's right. But I did come because I had something to say to all of you.
Miss Aozora!
She'd better not be here to complain about something. Miss Blackwell, I want to apologize to you. The fact that you couldn't trust the court system is our fault. Yes, it's true the courts are filled with incompetent idiots. Still, I suppose I could let you handle the rest of this case for me.
Oh, Miss Aozora, does this mean you're starting to trust the system again?
No, of course not. Be quiet, hunk of junk. It's just, I wouldn't mind if you were the ones who took Metis' killer down. Yes! Leave it to us. We'll get him. So I guess that means she's starting to trust us, at least. Aura? Simon, I'm so glad both you and the princess were cleared of all suspicion. It's all thanks to me and my robots. You'd better be grateful. I never imagined you would go that far. But you always were extreme. But I don't recall ever requesting your help. As close as ever, I see. Well, now that you've been released, I guess it's my turn to go live and live in the slammer. I guess so! I just hope you're not the prosecutor for my trial. They'd probably give me the death penalty. You know me all too well. I guess love can take on a variety of expressions, including stunted in their case. But I truly was about to be executed tomorrow. Though, because of you, it looks like I won't be crossing the stakes just yet. You have my heartfelt thanks, Aura. I'm sorry I caused you so much anguish. Simon. Aww. She cried. I'm so glad, Simon. So very glad to hear you say that. Aura. Alright. That's enough of that. Bailiff, take me to the detention center. What Miss Blackwell did was inexcusable. But it's clear she did it out of love for her brother. Still can't wrap my mind around Detective Wright being the Phantom. Damn, what's he gonna look like? I can't believe he killed Clay! Right. And murdered my mentor, which brought great distress upon little Athena. Little Athena! Chief Prosecutor? Yes? I would ask a favor. Would you allow me to stand at the prosecutor's bench for this trial? Oh! I wish to claim the Phantom's head by my own hand. Huh. That was my plan all along. After all, it's highly unconventional for a man of my position to stand in courts. Damn okay, sir. Formal paperwork has yet to be filed, but you are hereby conditionally released. Please take the prosecutor's bench in your official capacity and uncover the truth by your own hand. I'm much obliged. Whew. Oh, they're gonna release the shackles! The day to part with these has come at last. It's like that meme, the unshackled meme. Chief Prosecutor, could you? Let's go! Freedom! How long have I waited? Maybe it's the sense of freedom. But even the air seems fresher. The light brighter. And I will relish slashing that blackguard Fulbright to shreds without mercy. It's different because now it's legal. I don't have to be able to read his heart to see how happy he is. I'm so glad! But I won't cry just yet. After all, I've still got a trial to finish. It's okay to cry, Athena. I promise. Prosecutor Blackquill. Mr. Wright. Please avenge Clay's death for me. What are you talking about, Apollo? You're defending. You're coming to the defense bench with me. I am? Well, I can expect Athena to assist me now, can I? She's the defendant. That leaves you, Apollo. But, are you sure you want me? I took a leave of absence and everything. Well, our office is pretty short-handed and you're all I've got. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Apollo? Athena, I can say with all my heart now. I believe in your complete innocence. And now, we're gonna prove it to the world. Thank you, Apollo. I know you can do it. Yay!
So, you won't be needing that eye patch anymore, right?
Right, because I'm fine now.
And he's back to his old looks. Let's freaking go. Yay! Now this is the Apollo I know. Welcome back, Apollo! It's almost time for the trial to restart. It looks like you have things well in hand. Yep. I should head back to the prosecutor's office. But why? I want to look into a few things. Namely, the first people on the scene 7 years ago, the facial data registered by the robots, and Detective Fulbright's background. Sounds great, Edgeworth. Thanks. I expect to be repaid with a victory, right? Now, if you'll excuse me. Nice! Let's go! Okay, you two all set to go? You bet I am! Let's do this! This is it, the final battle. The murder of Apollo's friend? The courtroom bombing incident? man. And the case that ushered in the dark age of the law 7 years ago. Destiny has called us to bring the one responsible for it all to justice today. Oh man. Oh my god! We're probably gonna stop soon, but we'll see. The defense is ready, Your Honor. I thought the game was gonna give me a to be continued, but I guess not. The prosecution has never been more ready. You know, this is the first time I've been at the defense bench together since I debuted it. Now that you mention it, although back then, I thought you were more loud than you were reliable. You've really come a long way since then, Apollo. You've grown a lot. Yeah. Oof. It's probably gonna take at least like 3 hours plus though, right? Like 3 hours, 4 hours. So maybe we could save now? Because we want to start fresh, right? Two hours. Yeah, I don't think I can handle 2 hours. Oh, they probably won't keep it brief. But anyways, that's good. Yeah, it's kind of lengthy and I'm starting to feel sleepy. But wow! That's amazing. I love it. Okay, so that was it for Ace Attorney. The game portion is finished. We're shortly gonna move to the other screen. Thank you so much. And by soon, that means now. Let's go. Okay, save complete. Yes. That's so crazy. I never saw it coming. I thought we just wanted to, you know, be like, yeah, okay, let's you know, alternative gameplay, new character, new detective, but like, what? You know? And it's so insane because like, oh, he's a comic relief character, but he's actually capable at his job, you know, which is like a, you know, which is like really, really good actually. And it's like all this like heroic emotional thing that we have with him. Like, oh my god, he has such a good heart, blah, blah, blah. But then, bam, the twist, you know? I'm like, excuse me, what? You know? I really do feel betrayed. Damn. What a... That's so messed up. That is so messed up. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna just read the super chats. Lanjut kapan, Tan? Minggu depan sih. Sumpah, tapi aku, aduh, tanggung banget anjir. Aku tuh pengen lanjutnya tuh hari lain gitu. Yeah, he was also like I was fooled, man. He was so nice to us. He's like, he sounds so earnest and everything. Like, oh my god, what a gimmick. Like, oh my gosh, he has this annoying justice gimmick. But it turns out, oh, he's so heartfelt and passionate about it, blah, 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 blah. And he wants to protect Blackwell, blah, blah, blah. But, damn, hari ini nggak sih kalau bisa? Nggak bisa coy, maaf. Besok ada collab soalnya. Besok ada collab. Dan aku besok tuh harus ada pival bisnis. Aku tidak bisa streaming. Makanya Ace Attorney harusnya kan besok jadi hari ini. That's why I switched Ace Attorney to today because tomorrow is a little bit difficult. Also, I have a collab tomorrow. But yeah. Gitu. Is there something in the morning? There's nothing in the morning, but it's kind of like I don't know if I need rest. I'm just like a little bit scared that I would like slowly fall sick because I've been feeling a little bit lately. Like this just from this week I feel like it's been like gitu. Yes. Anyways, we have Ziply, thank you so much. With Arya, lovey do. Thank you very much for the collab of this morning. I barely saw any of it coming, but I had so much fun and laughter during and before the collab. Perfect to crown the night before sleep. Glad you had a lot of fun. Thank you. Did you sleep at all? No, not yet. We have Anton M. So Ponko doesn't eavesdrop and nobody talks to her directly, unlike Siri. Yeah, I don't know, man. Siri needs to mind her own business. We have Slot of Shadows. Careful, Edgeworth. Every time you mention Ponko, you bring both Ponko and me closer to snapping. If Ponko snaps, Robot Uprising. And if I snap, Tempura Udon. Yummy. We didn't hear from Siri yet. I don't know. Maybe Siri just... I don't know what happened to Siri. Maybe it's because I have my phone face down. Does it matter? I don't even know, man. We have Slot of Shadows, Wild Nasu, JC2, Violet Gelato, Galo Noel, Asterisk. We have Slot of Shadows. Speaking of shipping, I wonder if Pearl is still a shipper in her teen years. Oh, yeah! She's old enough to be on AO3 churning out those niche Phoenix Maya fics and getting yelled at by Phoenix edgy shippers who insist they're canonically married. I don't know. I think if she's on AO3, like, because in their universe, Phoenix and Maya are real people, so I think writing or consuming fics about real people would be like slightly controversial. So I don't know if she would be like kind of into that, but it's like, I don't know. Yes. But anyways, we have Anton M. Court therapy session was success, no more BL. We have Francis. Doomed Yuri jokes exist. Me? Does she know? Oh god! I can't believe it's Doomed Yuri! No, because it's like, why would she? No, like, okay, see, like, the photo on her desk was like, excuse me? You know, but also, like, it's fun to joke about it too, right? But then it was like, wait, what? It's true? Does she know? Yes. Malam ini ada collab Bakshot Roulette. Iya, betul. Mau nyoba multiplayer. Bro, it's actually Doomed Yuri. See what I said? My Doomed Yuri radar was tingling, man. Let's go. That's what I'm saying. Just because the other person has a kid, you know, doesn't mean the Doomed Yuri route is off the limits. It's off limits. Yeah. Like Anya bilang Holoro ada collab. Holoro ada, tapi mah bukan minggu ini, setahu aku ya. Yeah, Athena father doesn't seem to be in the picture, so Metis was single. See, like, just because a woman has a child, it does not mean her love life is over. Ngerti nggak sih? There's like other factors gitu. That's why you always see maybe like in dating apps, like, oh, I have a kid. If you're not okay with me having kids, just don't swipe or something. Right? Gitu. Do you think Metis was bi? I like to think that as long as it's not like canonically approved or disproved, or if there's no hint, because we barely got any Metis characterization. I don't know. I just don't think about it. Telat nggak bang? Mayan. Udah selesai mainnya bro. Gitu. Habis ini Tula pengerjaan PR. Kayaknya harus turu deh. Kayaknya udah capek banget aku. Yeah, can't really assume either way. There's not enough characterization. There's not enough ini. So it's just like, the answer is I don't know. Chotto matte ne. Okay, we have Anton M. Doom Jury confirmed. Aura is Athena's dad? No way. Well, I mean, it could also be like one-sided. I totally can see it as one-sided, and even like Med is probably not even like realizing, you know? Because considering how she's always so busy with like with her research and stuff like that. But again, none of this is canon, but I could totally see it as one-sided. Like Aura just pining or something. Yeah, and Metis is just like la la la, busy. We have Sloth the Shadows. Now I'm curious if Aura was jealous of Athena and wanted Metis all to herself, or excited to be Athena's second mommy when they got together. Either way, those passionate emotions turned into hatred. And history will say they were research roommate thingies. Exactly, research roommate thingies. Hard to get someone to love you who's married to their work. Yeah, I just feel like Metis is focused on her daughter and her research and her daughter. That's like the same thing. But I guess like a possible reason why Aura kind of hates Metis. No, sorry. Aura kind of hates Athena is because like Metis is always busy with her research, which was for her daughter too. Maybe. That she, yeah, something. So that could be a thing. Anyways, we have Anton M. Aura is jealous of Athena because she loves Widget. Widget. Yeah, sounds like Athena had trouble with Metis being more of a researcher than a mother. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, gitulah pokoknya. We have Sloth the Shadows. The Phantom Killer has doomed both Yuri and Yaoi ships. He's either an enemy to all ships or their greatest ally, depending on what you're into. Yes. Yeah, Metis definitely like values Aura as like a co-worker. Like, yeah, since they collaborate often and stuff like that. But it's kind of like, but Aura wanted more secretly, right? Na. Do. We have Anton M. Apollo was wearing his eye patch because he didn't want to accidentally discover Athena's stinky armpits. No, please don't remind me of that guy again. Oh my god, the dude with the teeth. Oh my goodness. Anjir, masih diingat aja itu. Oh my god, you still remember that guy, please. No, I don't think anybody expected to perceive that. And we have Sloth the Shadows. Black Quill's prison friends are going to miss him for a little while, and then he'll cut down Fulbright and end up back there, and they'll get to hang out again. I feel like it's justified. Udah mau lupa, anjir, ingat lagi. Ya ampun. We have Franzis. If I had a nickel for every game Reine has played this year where the unassuming goofball was the true mastermind, I would have 2 nickels. Ah, gosh, I don't know. We have Narda Peanuts. That's it. I'll only trust a police investigator if they're either broke, bitterly snacking, or British. If they're too good to be true, they probably are. We are Anton M. I hope for happy end. Judge adopts Klonko. What about Ponko? Ponko is the one the judge wanted. But anyways, I think that's it. Thank you so much, guys. Tomorrow, I don't know. I might want to rest in the morning. We'll see. Yeah. Because I'm scared. At least like just for this week. Because I've been like trying to pull myself together health-wise. And it's like maybe I need to like just one more bit of extra rest. And then hopefully we can go back to regular again. But yeah, thank you so much. And of course in the morning, at night there will be apa namanya? Collab. So, yes. I'll see you then. Terima kasih perhatiannya. Thank you very much for your attention. Salam merakyat everybody, and bye-bye. See you next Ace Attorney, and see you next stream. Mwah.